Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, but more importantly, blue morning to you all. It's another predicted lineup exercise on Chelsea Perspective. I hope you're uh, excited for it. Again, good luck to us all because, yeah, like as we've learned, Graham Potter is predictably unpredictable. So good luck to us all. We'll give it a shot anyway and see how correct we will come out. But then again, welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, let's get right into the show. Yes, people, once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. Again, more importantly, blue morning to you all. We're here again to try and predict Graham Potter's selection for the game against Manchester City today at the Etihad Stadium. Again, this game is a must-win game. It's an important game. It's a cup game. If we lose, we're out. Again, there's no excuses here. At the same time, I'd like to see the young players. I'd like to see the youth start. But again, there's no telling what Potter would do. We can talk from here to tomorrow. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. We know, again, what to do differently to at least get a good performance out of the players, from the players. But Potter, yeah, he always does this thing. And here we have, again, Blue Morning Kachila panel in chat, says the captain of the house, Liam Lane. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. He says, please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. And my brother, Mikhail, it looks like you have time to be with us today. He says, Morning Blues Kachila panel chat. Looking forward to a quick fire comparison of what we want to see versus what Potter will probably, most likely, most definitely do. Again, that's regarding regarding the starting lineup today. Graham Potter, again, he will never cease to amaze us. Sometimes it just seems, again, like you start questioning whether he even look at the number of the previous game. Why is he repeating this again? Because we ask those questions when we see, again, we have the personnel to really do better than we're doing, or for him to do things differently, but for some reason wants things to be done his way. For me, 4-3-3, Pulisic, Broja, Havertz, Mount, Zakaria, Gallagher, Kuku, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, and Aspilicueta. For me, yeah, of that list, I would want to see Koulibaly and against Thiago Silva both starting centrally with a farther back structure. That way, we'll have defensive solidity. Plus, Koulibaly, he helped again. He can play too. He can play as much as Thiago Silva can play. If they're both on the pitch, you be rest assured would play better, really, even though they are defenders. Surprisingly, again, our best players at this point is our goalkeeper who's now injured, plus, again, our defenders. Bring on the young guns from the bench, plus Ziyech around a 65th minute mark, or maybe even start Ziyech. Again, this, you know what? We've done so poorly that even us, the fans, if we're being honest, we're not even sure what we want the manager to do to do in terms of a selection for this match. That's how, again, confusing the whole thing is, that I'm sensing even Potter himself is probably confused, really. The Kula says, again, I wouldn't be cool anymore. It's time to change. Yeah, I know you've been on the fence for a while. You just, again, being Potter's lawyer for the sake of it, but you know deep down he's made so many mistakes. Some unnecessarily he shouldn't actually. Maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek instead of Mount, if we're feeling brave in midfield, yeah, if we really want to play anybody deep there, even Ruben Loftus-Cheek, for me, I don't want him playing centrally. If we're playing again, again, I don't want him to play as one of the 2 6s. Again, he only does he does better when he plays on the flanks. But yeah, the last game, it does again. It just they're all really they weren't ready for that game or weren't on the pitch to play that game really. Again, the Kula says 4-2-3-1. Mendy, Aspilicueta, Koulibaly, Chalobah, Lewis Hall, Zakaria, Kovacic, Pulisic, Gallagher, Omari Hutchinson, and Broja. Unfortunately, even though I'd like to see Lewis Hall start, I think if Koulibaly, if Correa is fit and ready to go, I think he starts. Omari Hutchinson, I don't think will start, but will most likely come off the bench, and that is again no matter which way the game is going, because that's the only chance they get to start a game again before we play Newcastle, and then it's a World Cup. So yeah, but let's see what the manager does. But I don't think he'd start them. I think he still trust the more experienced players to get the job done. So that's what I expect to see. Kovacic is again injured. I thought. Not really. Not really. Again, wasn't he in training? And again, didn't Potter say the reason he missed what game was that? It was just a precautionary measure. So I just don't understand. I think with Potter, you don't really have clarity in terms of what's going on with players. It takes time before we usually find out. For instance, in the case of Dennis Zakaria, it took time for us to understand he actually has a chance. Usually under Thomas Tuchel, after again the moment the team news is out, I think I don't know who did that for us. Then some journalists usually ask him why he selected the players he selected, or why are certain players missing, and then we get closure even before the game starts. But it hasn't been like that under Graham Potter. And for instance, something else that I'm still looking for, something that Mario Minto said yesterday. Well, again, all the managers we've had, most of them have said something, even during the start of their tenures as Chelsea manager. I've always said something that resonates with the fan. For instance, the case of Mourinho, his first stint was, again, I'm the special one. His second stint, the little horses now, but the little horses after 2 years, like this. You can say Thomas Tuchel, for instance, I'll build a team no one else wants to play. We're still waiting for what Potter will say. I'm guessing he's not that type of manager, really. But that's, by the way, and J5. As his J5, yeah. And I don't, yeah, J5 is injured. We learned that he's going to be out. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think during the presser yesterday, Kovacic is not 100% fit, but fans want him to play again. Then let him play. It's not about if the fans want him to play. You prioritize the game. That game against Arsenal was tailor-made for Mateo Kovacic, and if he was able to come on, and well, the time he came on the during again as the game progressed, he should have started. I think him starting would have play him like 60 minutes, then take him off. He would have again gotten the job done for us. It would have helped us to play better, at least until Arsenal tire out or so. But we couldn't play. Even by the time he came on, it was a bit too late, really. Risky, yep. Again, I get that. Again, a risky. Again, let's risk what fans want, Mikhail. I'm not going to say, again, the truth is the manager, he probably doesn't care what we think. Most likely doesn't care what we think. If the fans' opinion wield any measure of influence on his decision making, then he's in serious trouble, really. But it doesn't look like it does. That's the truth. If it does, he'd be hearing how much the fans has been questioning why Raheem Sterling keeps starting games or staying as long as he stayed on the pitch every time he starts, even when he's the worst player on the pitch. I just don't know. Another loss, again, loading and more pain and tears from our fans. Unfortunately, so it's made a comment saying Chelsea will kill him. I said, just stay strong. Again, now let me see anything else to address here. Liam Lane, Porter out. Yep. Again, of course, Of course, I want us to win, but I would be amazed if we don't. Uh, um, but I would be amazed if we don't. Okay, we're not quite at the team yet. Oh, not even close. We're not even close. And again, do I think we'll have a team that's capable of beating Man City? Well, it depends on the team. If he selects like you could say third tier team or maybe first tier team, and then or maybe second tier team, then maybe we have a chance. If he starts the starting players, we don't have a chance. We just have to be honest. What I'm looking for is what the manager's tactical approach, the players that the manager select, whether he's learned anything from how badly we've played. You can say nearly all the game we've played under him, except for again the Champions League games. But the Champions League games, take away the Salzburg game, we were pointing that game. If he really looked at had he looked at the number, he wouldn't start with the same 11 he started against Brighton. Other games like the game against Aston Villa, Brentford, all those games. If he again, yeah, I just want to see if he's learned anything from those games, or maybe he still thinks things are good. But according to him, after each game, he says the boys gave it all. They did well. They were huffing and puffing and all that, which I don't like to hear, really. I want us, again, to lose this game. I don't, as much as I know we're going to lose, I'm going to repeat myself. I want to see what the manager does, how he approaches the game, whether he's learning from what has been happening, or whether it's just, again, just another game for him. You can't win against City with the garbage of City. Okay, we'll see. But I think we can win them. Actually, it depends on what Pep Guardiola himself does. But I don't think we win it really. Coach, please again, don't start Ziyech. Surely not at the expense of Hutchinson. I would want to see Hutchinson start. If we beat again, I don't think I'd be surprised if he does that. I'd be surprised if he does that, because it just seems as if he's way too loyal to the senior players to even give the youngsters a chance. This is again the sort of game when you start a player like Omari Hutchinson. Believe me, his confidence will be through the roof. But unfortunately, I've seen enough to think to really say I'd be surprised if he starts him. Broja didn't start against Salzburg, which again, that was a mere formality that no matter what happens, will still be topping the table. He hadn't participated in the press conference. He didn't start that game, and yet he didn't start against Arsenal, where pressing is important, where we need to, again, at least bite in the front area. And he started Aubameyang, who you could say, I don't know who convinced him to make that video. You could say that added unnecessary pressure on him on the day. But yeah, he didn't get the services. But yeah, I don't think that video was really necessary. It was childish, really. Let's see again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, let me see if there's anything else to address here. If not, we go straight into the lineup building exercise. And Matthew Lee Benjamin, nice to see you, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show again. I hope you're doing well. And here is your signature there. Like the damn video. Like the damn video. He says here, big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Again, always nice to see you. Please do let me know that you're doing well. Talking again, Liam hates excuses. Nope, nobody likes excuses. And it's looking like we're making excuses too. Even Pep is making excuses for Graham Potter. Yeah, Pep is the one now telling us to give him time. Yeah. Here's the thing, no matter the manager we have, if you ask Pep, he wouldn't say give him time. He wouldn't tell you not to give a manager time. He would not say that. That's the thing. That's not me saying we shouldn't give Graham Potter time, but the truth remains, Pep will not say otherwise. He will always say give the manager time. That's his thing, really. So, but just let's look beyond that. Let's see what we have again. Liverpool will be sold soon. Again, it looks like the businessmen, they've made some money. They want out right now. Oh, I don't know the situation quite well. I'm not going to go into talking about it. It says again, I don't care about Liverpool, bro. Yeah, I right now I don't either. I'll try to get through what we have in the chat quickly so we can start the lineup building exercise. Again, that's at the moment a Chelsea could go for some players. Okay, no, it doesn't. They probably sell it to even the richer people. Klopp will go to Barca. You think? I really do not think so. I think it's so much, again, his approach is too much of, should I say, a hothead approach than what they want, but you never know. If anybody would go to Barca, I think it will most likely be, at least that's what I think, will most likely be Thomas Tuchel. But if Klopp ends up going to Barca, then the likelihood of Thomas Tuchel joining a Liverpool increases. Should I use the word exponentially? I don't know. Slightly off topic, the beautiful game. Nice to see you here, brother. Liverpool have agreed on 4.3 billion sale of the club. If we weren't in trouble before, we certainly are now. I guarantee, again, they won't sack club. Remember what I said again about the landscape. Yep, changing. It's changing really quickly. More people, more billionaires are coming into, again, the football business, if you want to phrase it that way. Yep, I think so. If we weren't in trouble before, we certainly are now. Yep, that's the truth. Again, Barcelona loves Xavi. They won't sack him. That's what they're going to tell you. No club will come out. They don't like a manager. Here's the thing. They'll give him time. You could say they're doing fairly well in the league. But I think they'll be looking at him going, we can actually do better with manager A, B, or C. But really, again, as you said, you don't care about Liverpool. I don't care about Barcelona right now. Let them give Xavi a 10-year contract. But if that's for all I care. Of course, again, I want us to win, but I would be amazed if we do. Again, yeah, I suspected you were saying something similar. We are not quite that team yet. We're not even close. So quite isn't the correct, you could say, article there maybe. Chavon Igwe saying, what's the latest on Nkunku? The latest on Nkunku, I'll be honest with you, is that he's having a second thought. I'm not sure. There's a chance that's absolute, again, a horse due to people just making up nonsense given we've been playing badly. So it's easy. Common sense says if somebody comes out and says Nkunku is having a change of heart, given how badly we're playing, it will be believable, really. Because he wants to play Champions League football. We're not in top 4, and there's no guarantee we'll win the Champions League. So, yeah, again, that's the update on that one. Liam Lane, okay, just saying, talking to Liam Lane, Nkunku is not a done deal. Oh, surprisingly, I'm hearing that from this guy himself. We argued that then here. It's not done, really. All talks. According to reports, players are not happy and want out. Again, then let them go. Why keep our players who don't want to play for the club? Here's the thing. The argument, I forgot who made that argument, really. If the argument is really players, again, are showing dissent due to the manager persistence on playing a certain player, even when the player isn't playing well, and when the player is on the pitch, the particular player stays up to 90 minutes or 1 million minutes or plus, while there are better players on the bench. The players don't even need to speak to each other. I think it was AD that talked about this theory in detail. The players don't even need to speak to each other. The dissent will start showing because they will recognize, they will be asking the question, what in the freaking world is this player doing on the pitch? He shouldn't even be there. So with that, again, I'll continue reading in a bit. And let me say, like in the 25th minute, I'll stop interacting with the chat. We're going to build on the lineup. Again, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all the love that you're showing to the community. Again, Wadia David says again, please don't start Loftus-Cheek in any match. Again, he's too lazy to avoid a relegation. That is harsh, really. Again, unfortunately, we're Chelsea Football Club, and to most of us, we don't really care if we're paying attention to the situation. You could say Loftus-Cheek, he's a victim of his own, again, of his versatility, really. Managers play him out of position, like, I don't know how else to phrase it. But again, that's by the way, anyway. Let's see what we have here. Again, talking to Liam Lane. Again, I hope I'll catch up with the chat soon. Porto is so much worse that I still could, I'm not going to get into the argument. I'm really tired of making that argument, and I have to be honest about that. Lampard, again, entrusted Mount. Lampard was sacked. Tuchel entrusted Mount. Tuchel was sacked. When will, again, the omen end? This is one of those things that, again, if a journalist put this out on Twitter, it will catch fire. But this is a dangerous, you could say, a dangerous theory, really. I don't think that's the case. This is a dangerous theory. I have to be honest with you. Again, God of Frogs, as much as I love you, and it's really believable, given the sequence of events he just talked about. But I really do not want to talk about that right now. But again, nice to see you, God of Frogs. I hope you're doing well. Tuchel has no chance at Barca. Again, in Barca, a club is already in talking. Really? I didn't know that. Okay, thank you. Maybe I'm living under the rock. Again, the beautiful game says Pep is playing mind games. Again, the longer yeah, the longer Potter stays, the more 3 points he takes off of us. And plus, again, yeah, you could. That's another solid argument. I like theories, by the way. I enjoy reading constructive theories because they all sound believable. Indeed, I have to be honest with you. If the reports about how much money Todd has available to him, we should be worried about. We shouldn't be worried about anyone. Again, only ourselves. Again, money doesn't really make. Again, if you have good scouting department, and if you have a long-term plan like we're doing, signing a lot of young players, we can dominate for a while when things click, when those young players when they mature to become mature players and are integrated into the first team and start playing. Again, it will take time. It can be painful. There may be, because the process will now be in place. We still have a circle of young players coming in and gradually being integrated into the first team, so we will never suffer from, again, money will never be the issue. Good scouting, at least if we have any money at all, it will go a long way, really. And remember, I think if you could say FFP makes it a level playing ground. So I agree with you. Money isn't really the thing. Again, money to a certain measure can help make a difference. But the truth remains, there's a limit to what you can do with your money. You can't just spend because you have it. Otherwise, Newcastle, you will be talking about how many players they bought right now, how much they paid for them. So thank goodness to FFP for being in place to help, not make that, again, the richer the club, the better. I don't think that's the case. Again, you have to get the work done too for your club to be doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Chelsea problem is deep. Again, Dube, Lamatu, that's the truth. It's, again, we're only seeing it on a surface level. It looks, again, if in fact the manager's already, he started having issues with the players already, then it's even more serious. I have to be honest. Mikhail says if Kovacic is available, will we start him? I'd like to see him start. Again, here's the thing. Man City is another team that presses very well. They even press better than Arsenal. They press very well. They press aggressively. They press strategically. Man City, they're not one of those that just run at you. As they press, they target the passing lanes. And Pep is so detail-oriented. Let me use this instance. Again, I've used it before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Pep is so detail-oriented that after he lost to us in the Champions League final, I think he took his time to study all Chelsea players, from Marcus Alonso to who again that we had then. Then the next game we played against them, our players couldn't play out from the back. Even in the central area, we couldn't play because it was as if they knew. Again, each Chelsea player, whenever a Chelsea player had the ball, it was as if they knew who that particular player would be looking to pass the ball to, and they did it twice the last season, and we couldn't play on 2 occasions after the Champions League because probably he was still in pain that he lost to us in 3 games in a row, 2 games in a row before the final that made it 3. So he took time to study our team. So even that's a Pep team. He studies teams. Again, he's a detail-oriented manager. They will press the life out of us. They will press us strategically again. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll have a team that's again that comfortable playing out of the back when teams press us aggressively and strategically, like I believe Man City would do. Except if he makes too many changes, then we'll get a chance to at least touch the ball like 10 times before the game ends. Yeah, good comment there. Again, it says again. Let's come back to the question. If Kovacic is available, we'll start him. Hutchinson, Chukwuemeka is out. I think he's out with hamstring injury. I'm hearing. Is he back? Please let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Zakaria, Gallagher, RLC. How many of them? I think that would be too many. I don't think we'll see all of them together here. Hutchinson is starting, Chukwuemeka starting in the same at the same time. No, I don't see that happening. Plus, Chukwuemeka, correct me if I'm wrong, he has a hamstring injury and probably still out. Zakaria maybe will be important. Zakaria will be key, again, so that the defense will have proper protection. That is if Graham Potter would trust him good enough. Gallagher, at this point, I have to say this. As much as I hate to say it, I'd rather see Gallagher than Mason Mount. But unfortunately, Mount will most likely start. It's as simple as that. He will most likely start and probably in a different position because it just looks as, again, Porter, he's bent on experimenting even to the detriment of the team, really, to the detriment of the team's overall performance. So we're not sure what's going to happen. If Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to start, I don't want him as either 6. I don't want him. I'd rather, again, he plays where, again, it looks like to me, you can say actually he likes to operate with space. When there isn't space, he makes a lot of mistakes. And please don't play him centrally as in a double pivot where you can see he can read the game and gives away the ball too much, which is too risky. And he nearly, we nearly conceded from one of his mistakes against Arsenal. So, yeah, it's confusing. Even looking at the names you brought up, I'm not sure what Graham Potter would do with them. As for me, I could say maybe start Zakaria and what's his name? And Kovacic centrally in a double pivot. And yeah, as much as I hate the double pivot thing, because one player will suffice, one player who is, again, traditionally defensive-minded will suffice, and then we have more player in the attacking area. But I think we're so used to the double pivot thing. Every time we're trying to play with a single pivot, the whole team just seemed as if they're confused. So I will pair Kova and Zakaria as a double 6 in a double pivot, while, again, Kovacic, again, plays his usual role, which is the hybrid of 6 and 8. Again, he's gotten so used to it. No one else in the team plays as well as he does. Then Zakaria, again, he's shown in the game we saw him play against Zagreb, he's shown that he's capable of reading the game. And plus, he's quick too. He doesn't just read the game. He's quick and he's capable of, again, catching up with the man if he reads the danger, which Jorginho couldn't do. So I think, yeah, Jorginho's absence, again, gives us the opportunity to really see Zakaria start. He should, really. I think that would be a better option. If you're pairing anybody, it shouldn't be Kovacic and what's his name? And Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Again, that's suicide already. That's already a rope on the ceiling that we'll put just sticking our head into it, to say goodbye. Again, if I was, again, being benched because of a player with 0.00001 XG, I'd be a little bit upset too. And dissent can be dangerous when players don't speak out. When they keep it within themselves, that's when it becomes dangerous. That's when you start seeing, again, even then, without the players knowing, we start sensing that this particular player really doesn't want to be on this pitch. And I think, again, it just seems as if we're starting to see that. So if you haven't, again, before I continue, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Again, Christopher Nkunku's transfer to Chelsea is already being prepared, and only, again, an official announcement that's missing. Stories about the deal falling through our false. Yeah, here's the thing. We heard that we've signed, what's his name, Dembele. We've heard that we've completed the signing of Vadia already. He's just going to join us in June 2023. I'm not gonna until I see him holding the shirt and we get an official statement from the club, that's when I'd say it is done. And believe me, the rumors that he's waiting on Real Madrid to approach him is believable too. Madrid, they've done a lot of signing in the midfield area, but in the attacking area, I think they've been looking for signing. And Kunku, you could say, will be a very good addition to their squad. Already big squad and good squad, if you ask me. Again, if you haven't, please drop a like on the video, on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chelsea, again, I love Tuchel. Again, he managed to be with us in bad time. Yeah, but Danny Sipula, thank you so much for finding time to join the show. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and also drop a like on the stream. Yeah, but again, I don't want to get into it. It's painful, really. When I thought that, again, I was ready to move on. I started hearing how, again, badly he was hurt, given the sacking, really. Just know Chelsea is in for it, maybe. Again, I hope you. I don't know what you're referring to. Pep was celebrating the loudest when Tuchel got sacked. Again, let's be honest. You could say that, but you have to be specific. But I don't know. We all see things from different lenses. I didn't say anything that say he was celebrating, but maybe he'd be, probably, because since the manager could say that he found it difficult to beat since the manager he took over when he was still Chelsea's manager. Pep was celebrating for that one. Again, Potter says that Pep is elite. He has no respect to no manager. Again, who is Tuchel? Only Klopp and Ancelotti got his respect. Has any of them beaten him in the 3 games in a row and in the Champions League final? So I'd say the manager he'd fear to face the most. The manager he'd fear to face the most will most likely, again, of those managers we talked about, will most likely be Thomas Tuchel. Yeah, given his record against him. And Mourinho, let's see, Chelsea. Chelsea, yes, keeps yelling that again. They did not give Tuchel enough time. I really don't want to get into that, really. Again, if Liverpool can lose 4-1, but us just 1-0, we sacked the manager. I think it was just whatever happened it wasn't just about that, the performance like we heard. Todd should have given Tuchel onto summer. Again, I'm not gonna talk about Tuchel again. And unfortunately, I will be scrolling to the very bottom of the comments in a bit. And apologies again. I can't read. If I continue reading, that's all we'll do. And until the show ends. Again, as a Chelsea fan, I know we're not winning. But what would you like Potter to try this game to make you happy? To show that he can make do with what he has. It's as simple as that. He hasn't shown he's capable of doing that. That's not me saying he's a bad manager. I understand probably a learning process for him. You could come and argue that he doesn't know that well at this point. That to me, I'd consider that a solid argument. But to me, the only thing I say, he takes too much risk. Again, let him make the most of what he has. At least let's play well. Let's play well and say we lost this game. But we gave it our all, and I haven't seen that in all the games. Again, the games we've lost under him. How many games have we lost under him? Just one, right? But it was really awful. But that one game was just, again, you could say, a reflection of what has been going on. It has been a long time coming, really. We played badly in, let's say, 3, 4, 5 games before that one, really. That we could have witnessed 3 results again in total that will be as embarrassing as the one against Brighton, but we were just lucky. And to me, it just seemed as if he hasn't been paying attention to those games, to the numbers after those games. Had he paid attention to them, he wouldn't have selected the 11 he selected against Brighton. Really, sometimes it just looks like he's a manager that's comfortable with the team riding their luck during a game, even if opposition created 20 chances under 10 minutes against us. He's not proactive. Let me say he doesn't react quickly to the situation. He just sits and watch until the 70th, 60th minute. Even when he makes changes sometimes that doesn't really solve the problem. And what sort of manager watches a single player such as Raheem Sterling in 1, 2, 3, 4 games, again, stinker after stinker, and then had one stinker, the last one, as again, one successful dribble out of 6 attempts and still not see that he shouldn't be on the pitch. Maybe his logic would be when he will get one chance and score with us and score for us, and that's that. No, again, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. And I think he's creating a bigger problem for himself by not rewarding performance. Like we've talked about that already. Chelsea's lineup need to be a mix of starting 11 and sub players like Zakaria, Pulisic, and Broja. Yes, again, Kachila, again, will you be doing a watch along tonight? A lot of places cannot get those cup games, or can you? I think I can. It starts 12 p.m. my time, so by then, yeah, usually get anything close to 3 p.m. when I have to go pick up my son is usually a problem for me. Jorginho is the most important player. When he goes to Barca, that will make a huge hole. Again, I'm not sure we're going to be able to keep him given how much we're hearing he's asking. Let's hope Nkunku is not watching. Yeah, Nkunku is conveniently blind right now. Yeah, or maybe he doesn't have a television to watch Chelsea games. That's another solid argument. Again, I would like to see Zakaria, Gallagher, and Kovacic in midfield. I'm tired of Ruben Loftus-Cheek cannot deliver. That's a solid argument. Again, Tuchel again took a get ticket before. He didn't want to do that. The boss wants him. Okay, I'm not sure I understand that one. And blue morning to you too. Again, Just Viola, the queen of the house, thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. What we have here, again, I would like to see Zakaria, Kovacic, and Gallagher in midfield. I'm tired of Loftus-Cheek. Again, he cannot deliver. I want Gallagher to play for the forward that's a 10 or in the right wing or left wing position. To me, playing him that deep will be a waste of his talent. I think we've seen that. The contrast between how well he played when he plays deep and how well he played when he played in the number 10 role, it's telling, really. But is Potter paying attention? We don't know. We really do not know. So let's get into, again, building the team. I hope you're ready. Where you go? I have it here. I have it open here. Let's do this. Okay. And I'm going to do this again. If you have anything, again, you think it's important that you would like us to talk about, you go ahead, talk about it, and I'll do my best to address it. So I'm going to say this again. Between the sticks, the choice is clear, so I'm no need doing any poll there. So let's see here. Plug in here. It will be, Mendy for sure. And I want to put up a poll to ask you whether you think it will be a back four, a back three structure. Let me get your thoughts here. Just quickly, let me do that here. Quickly. What formation? Right, what formation do you think Potter will use against Man City? Okay, let's see. Against Man City, a 4 at the back structure. Just 1 second, guys. I'll be with you in a bit. A 4 at the back structure, and this one a 3 at the back structure. Okay, one option, a hybrid maybe, because he does that quite a lot. Hybrid formation. All right, let's see. There you go, hybrid formation. There you go. I'm going to ask the question here. Let's see. I've asked the question again. Let me see what we have in the chat. We have, again, a WTV game says, Coach, again, a watch along would benefit us all greatly. Again, I have a feeling we're going to need a therapy. You don't want to, do you think you'd enjoy the watch along with me, really? Again, I'll be yelling at my screen. I yelled so hard at one time that Just Viola went, my ears are hurting, really. He says, I accidentally timed out. Again, Adubu Lama to, again, apologies. Again, when she comes back, just explain that will be, again, I hope she will understand. Adubu Lama to, apologies if you're watching it, you were accidentally timed out. I don't know if I should call it a bot timeout or what has happened before. What's up, the true City fan? What's up, bro? Again, yeah, if you have time to join the panel, I can share the link for you. With you, you tell me what type of game you're expecting, but maybe that will be during the pregame show. I will start 1 hour before kickoff. If you have time, I'd really want to have you on the panel for that one. A good video. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You finding the time to join. So again, let me see what your thoughts on the formation. Something Mikhail talked about before. What I really think Potter would do. Let me talk about it a bit. Again, here's what I wait for you to participate in the poll. Here's what I really do think Potter would do. One, there's no guarantee we're gonna make it, and we're gonna make top 4. It's not a given, and we don't look good enough. It doesn't look like it's something we'll be able to achieve. Now, there's no guarantee we'll win the Champions League. It's not a given, really, and I'm sure he knows that quite well. Now, the cup games, the 2 cup games, the EFL Cup again and the FA Cup, those are the 2 cup games. You could say we have a chance of going again, going all the way to the final and winning it. So now I think he still take this game seriously, even though as much as I'd like Omari Hutchinson to start, and Armando Broja most likely will start. If he doesn't start, I don't know how he's going to explain that to that kid, really. But Omari Hutchinson, I think he gets, you could say, he gets to play. But most likely, I don't think he starts. I think he comes in probably no matter what's happening again in the game, whether we're losing, whether we're winning, I think he still give him a chance to start. Again, like I said before, Potter is predictably unpredictable. Maybe that's the simplest way to define Potter's approach this time. I don't know if the reason it's because, again, it's because he's confused. I don't know if the reason is because he's still getting acquainted with the players. I don't know if the reason is because maybe really he's unorthodox, very again likes to think, to tweak things too much. Again, sometimes to the detriment of the team. Really, I don't know if that's the case. It's no even it's even difficult coming up with what you think Potter would do and what Potter wouldn't do, really. But to me, I'd say we'd still see a lot of the experienced players. The young players such as, again, Omari Hutchinson will get a chance no matter what's happening, but I don't think he starts. If he starts, I'd be surprised. And that's it. Again, the watch-alongs are good. Again, yeah, very enjoyable. Again, and I think what I would do now is, again, I will schedule it as we're talking, especially if I'm lucky to get any other person on the panel, I will create it and redirect this one to that one so that when the show ends, it will take people there so that they can drop a like on it. That will help. That will help let people know we're doing a watch along. Then I can add what's it called? I can add a banner to it later. Let's see what we have here again. And just hope a City won't humiliate us, losing it with 1 goal, or even playing well and losing by 2 goals. That's, again, you accept it. Sometimes I've seen games where Chelsea will lose and it doesn't hurt. And it all comes down to knowing we actually played well. We actually, again, gave it, a fight. We fought well with the spirit. We could see that the players, again, it was a spirited performance from the players, but we're just unlucky. Then you just, again, you take it and say, we move on. But what I don't want to see is humiliation, really. So you and I, the same as Susan Gieson, I really do not want us, again, to get humiliated. And let me ask you this again. And my brother is already on the panel. Big up, bro. How are you doing? Roger, yeah, I'm not going to call you Potter's lawyer now.
That's lead lawyer to you.
Lead lawyer, yeah. You lead.
Hola, senor.
Greetings, brother. Greetings. I hope you're well.
Always a pleasure.
That's a delicious comment here from Mikhail. He says, again, he's asking, he wants a quick, again, discussion on what we think, what we want to see versus what we believe Graham Potter would do. Look at this here. He says, looking forward to a quick fire comparison of what we want to see versus what Potter will probably, most definitely do. Now,
that's
let's
a good one.
What do you think he'd do, really?
Well, a back 10? I have no idea.
Yeah, and like you always
Just
say,
screw
he's
me, coach.
predictably unpredictable. But just give it a
Yeah.
shot. Give it a
No,
shot. What do you think
he's-
he'd do?
I'm suspecting, based
Mhm.
on the previous dead rubber game that we played in Europe,
Mhm.
Zagreb, I believe it was, that I think he is going to lean more with actually a starting lineup that he wants to see versus Newcastle. I think he'll play maybe Sakari because of Jorginho having a foot issue. I think he may be forced to play Sakari in there.
Most
But if
likely, well, if
yeah,
he again, if he, what else do you think he can do there outside of Zakaria?
is
Does
Omari injured?
who?
Who's available? The youngsters. Who's
Omari
no?
Hutchinson
Sorry.
is available.
It's Quinn Checkamaker is
No,
hurt,
I
right?
think it's out. Carney is out again with a hamstring
Hamstring.
injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but go
I
ahead.
was
I
getting.
really want to get from you. What do you think he would do?
I
Let's
would have.
compare it to what
Sure.
again. What you want him to do really? I think the
So,
lineup again. The lineup building exercise will show what most of the fan base want him to do because I will use the poll too. But I want to get again. Like you see, I'm sure you can see the comment. What do you think he'd do really? Again, given. The truth remains we don't have too much to work with when it comes to Potter.
Coach,
Yeah, go ahead.
if he starts Sterling, I'm going to scream.
Yeah, and that's going to make him change him immediately, right?
Have you heard me scream? No, it'll be nonsensical. But he seems to start in virtually every game. I still haven't done that spreadsheet on his dribblings. I forgot to do it. But no, I'm serious. It's
No, it's
shocking.
important you do, and I want the numbers on this again. He's awful. He's been awful in that department. But go ahead.
Shockingly so.
Mm-hmm.
I because of the lack of availability of youngsters, like you've got Carney that's hurt. I think Hall, he's the left-footed chap, isn't he? There's actually a midfielder.
Yeah, he's
that
Lewis
plays,
Hall can play on the left. Yeah.
yeah, but he's left-footed. But actually, he's traditionally a midfielder, a number 8, but he's been playing in the left-back position.
Can you make a case? Can you make a case for him starting? Really?
You would think so, but I don't think he does. I think he
No,
brings them on.
because it wouldn't make sense. Again, you could say this game is as equally important as the Newcastle game. Maybe the Newcastle game is more important because it enhances the chances of making it into Europe. But if you're again paid to make a case for Lewis Hall to start, go ahead. I'd like to get those big English words that usually you use when you defend Potter.
So you want me to justify why Hall should start?
Yeah, just try.
Well, fundamentally, it's a cup game, so therefore you usually you bleed in, you start your youngsters, so to gain them experience. This is what, when I was growing up, these games were big. These were huge cup games.
It's so big.
Ones.
I think
Pep
loves it so much that he's asking the FA not to scrap it. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's now their second nature. They're relegated to minor compensations in many regards. When I was young, do you know what was huge? The FA Cup final was massive. It in the 70s and 80s, the FA Cup was absolutely huge. The League Cup, which what it was called then, was very big also. Now they are, how should I put this? But they're just second afterthoughts. They're not major tournaments. These managers now, and I mean this in the most politest sense, but because we have coaches / managers that come from overseas, they haven't been exposed to the history and culture of the reverence with which these cups were given.
Let's bring you back to the game now. Again,
I think these cups have been relegated to second. So this is why, historically, the last 10 or so years, these managers are now experimenting with the youngsters because they're not deemed as major tournaments anymore.
So you think even though we lost the last game, he will risk losing another game, 2 consecutive games in a row, domestic games in a row? It's not like one is a Champions League and one is a
no,
domestic game.
no.
So do you think he would risk that?
Risk it as in playing youngsters? No.
Yeah, again, experimenting or playing youngsters, given like starting Omari Hutchinson, also at the same time starting Lewis Hall. Do you think he'd risk that?
Listen, it's virtually impossible to pick his brain, but I would assume, based on what he did in Europe, that he would indeed try. Well, I think he'll probably Silva will rest. I think Aspie will probably rest, possibly Aspie, but I think he's going to start a lot of the people that he believes should be playing. He's trying to play these players into form. This is what I'm noticing.
And he's probably inadvertently given that away during his interviews, even without knowing. Again, it's possible to read into his comments and say, okay, this is really what this man is doing here. But here's the thing I want to say. I'm going to tell you this.
Logic?
Yeah, I know. I understand. That's why we're here. That's why I can. This comment to me is a delicious comment, really. It makes us think.
Yeah.
It makes us think. It makes us try to work with what the little we know about Graham Potter, and good luck to us, really.
So at this current stage, do you think he should try to
here's the thing.
With
Even let's assume the current stage doesn't really matter at this point. It matters the team you're playing. We're playing a team that even if they start the number 311, they'd still be good enough to make it the top four.
They're potent.
Yeah, exactly. So had he been like one of, again, you can say no disrespect to any team. Again, I have to let me just say that playing like a top tier team, like a Champions League team and all that, then you should, again, the round comes into play. Say, hey, we're just in this round, second round. Is it the second round or what round is it? Sixth round?
Third. I think it's third. Well,
third round. Or something like that. Whatever the round is, usually it's not that serious. But in this case, the team in question is a Premier League giant.
Yeah, the football gods have deemed that, right?
Exactly. So that makes it an important encounter.
Yes.
Plus, a loss goes into record that we've lost against them already in the season.
Yeah, I get that.
And so it gives them a psychological edge going into the next game we're playing against them. So now, again, it doesn't matter. It's an important game, first of all, given that it's Manchester City and given that no second leg. It's one-time play. You don't get the second chance.
Sure, it's on penalties, right?
Exactly. That makes it even more important. Plus, we lost against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So a win, a reaction is needed.
Well, we didn't just lose against Arsenal. We played exceptionally poorly.
Yeah, they mold again. You could say it again. They mold the Champions League carpet with us, really.
And you know what? I've watched that game a second time, and do you know? Not only did we play poorly, but you could honestly say that Arsenal didn't play well either, and yet they made us look so poor, and they look so good. This game is fundamentally about what? Scoring more than your opposing team. They only had 2 shots on target. That they were so wasteful and non-clinical. They didn't look that great going forward.
And I can tell you why that is.
Had we played an informed Arsenal, they're
still informed, really. The only thing is that here's the thing. Do you know why they were missing so many chances? Do you know why? I think they were missing so many chances.
Please enlighten me. I beseech
you. We were the underdogs. There were much pressure on them than usual.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they were playing with much pressure. Again, you can say they came into that game knowing that anything can happen. They came again, plus it's a derby, plus we're the underdogs. We're the underperforming teams. Usually the reverse is the case.
Sure, look at the Man U game, Arsenal versus Man U. Arsenal were the better team by far, and yet Man U won. So I understand. They're thinking this could happen again. I get their mindset and all your logic in that mindset. I understand. Because this game, unlike the NFL, invariably the inferior team gets to win. As I said, I watched Burnley versus Liverpool a few years ago, where they only had 18% of the possession and only had 2 shots on target, yet they won 2-0. Liverpool were dominating the whole game. So it happens. But Yeah, I get it. But I thought, honestly, had we played, let's say, a Man City top team a couple of days ago, they would have beaten us 5-6-7 nothing. That's not an exaggeration. We were that poor.
Yeah, the derby, it's again, Arsenal Chelsea is a different measure of game
Yeah, no, it
altogether.
is. Indeed. It's
Yeah.
a London derby, and it's
That makes a whole lot of difference, really. Again, let me catch up with the chat. I want us to get into the lineup building exercise as soon as possible so we can finish in time. But again, I hope we did our best, Mikhail. This is more like, again, designing, again, a spaceship that will go to Mars, really. That question you asked right there. And the reason being, when it comes to Graham Potter, we don't have too much to work with. He's changing things like this, boom, 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 boom. So there's no pattern. In the case of, again, Thomas Tuchel, there was a pattern to work with. There was a pattern that, again, you could say twice or three times I've predicted this lineup correctly. But this time you can't really. The only thing that's predictable there is probably, most likely, Raheem Sterling plays and stays 150 minutes, even though the game is played only 90 minutes.
Do you really think so?
Watch out. Watch it happen again. and the simple logic would be he knows the team very well. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, we'll see. Again, the Bluetooth game says, again, am I right in saying the winner of the League Cup enters the Europa League? I suggest we play a full-strength team with a 5-5.
What's he saying?
Yeah, with a 5-5-0. I don't know. I don't remember that. I remember, again, I can recall when the talks started. I don't know if they've implemented, again, if it's in effect. I'm not sure. But I really don't want us to play the Europa League. I want it 4 out of top 4, no European football, so that next year it will be just the league. Again, that's me. I know some people think otherwise. I'm going to scream anyways. I get it. Again, objection. Yeah, she's going to scream when she sees a lineup that she knows is a societal, whether it gets to him or not. Objection, Your Honor. Objection overruled, please. We have a game show to us. We don't need a win today. Just a good performance. Yeah, even if you need a win, you're not getting it. Let's be honest here. Again, you can say again, just say you're looking for a good performance. And again, you cannot script this game, really. That's a chance we end up winning. But the chances are very, very unlikely. And even after talking about that, look at this. Look at the insights here. Man City haven't lost in 5 matches. Yep. And the insights on our own side says, again, haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches. And we're playing against, you could argue, the most potent team in the Premier League. No, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see their goals numbers. I'm sure they're probably the most potent. Let's look at their numbers here. Where's Man City here? 27. Yep, they're the most potent in front of goal. So yeah, again, to me, the insight, to me, if statistically shows on paper, you could argue overall, it's not a game we can win. We've been conceding, they've been scoring, and they're the most potent in the league. They have the most potent attack no matter who's playing. They have, again, the most equipped technicians in the midfield area. Chance creation is from everywhere, from deep the defense, from the central area, from the flanks, on the carpet, in the air. So it's not like they're predictable. You could say, okay, let's just try and do this and stop them. And if the argument is, again, if you stop Haaland, you stop City, you're just making a big mistake. Because you can't stop Haaland. To stop Haaland, you have to stop the supply. And the supply doesn't come from a single individual. At Man City, the supply can come from Foden, it can come from Silva. What is that? Yeah, Bernardo Silva. It can come from the assist master himself, Kevin De Bruyne. It can come from Riyad Mahrez. It's everywhere. So that's why, especially at Man City, stopping Haaland isn't easy. Because the truth remains, as long as the service gets to him, you cannot stop him, really. You can out-muscle him. He's even stronger than most defenders in the Premier League. So, but that's, by the way, I hope you get my argument there. It's one, again, just a performance for me. Again, you say we don't need a win. Yeah, we don't really need it, but we're never going to get it if we need it really. But I get your argument. Remember, Mount has to play. Roger, can you really talk about that even more, really? Because it has started a lot of issues.
You know, I've listened to all his press conferences. I'm talking about Potter's, and I think things are taken way out of context. Okay, so he is not.
But should he be using such language? Isn't he educated enough to not phrase things like that? Sometimes when you want to talk, before you let the words leave your mouth, you think about it.
No, you know what it is? Maybe he's not. He seems to be very. He's humble. He seems to not be press savvy, shall we say? And he's certainly not animated. He's very cool, calm, and collected. Having said that, I don't think he understands. He doesn't seem the type of person that follows social media. So he's very honest in his assessment in what he says. And I think he's taken out of context completely. When
but
it's like
he said quite a lot. Look at this. Look at the comment regarding Raheem Sterling too.
Yes,
which clearly spells out this sentence. Now, I'm just trying to play him into form, and I know he sucks, but I'm still going to continue playing him anyway.
Sure.
He has a master in emotional intelligence, so he should be able to see. Yeah,
Coach, are you saying about because he's a top player?
Something like that. It's open to interpretation.
No, but then you have to. So it's like me saying, "I killed a man," as opposed to "I killed a man in self-defense." That in self-defense is very important. Otherwise, I'm going to the gallows. So it's the same thing. If you listen to his whole paragraph when he's talking, he's talking about him that he has been traditionally a top player, and he's talking about how he's out of form. But you're taking a snippet. And it's
just pause a second. He's talking about how he's out of form.
Yeah.
And he didn't just realize that against Arsenal, which means he knows quite well. He hasn't been playing well. So again, here's my point, Roger. He has a master in emotional intelligence. Even I don't have that, but sometimes before I say anything, even with a split seconds, I'm able to say, if I say this is how most likely how this person is going to read it. And sometimes I'll just shush it and not say it or reconstruct whatever I want to say. But it has been too many of them that doesn't sound like, again, he pays attention to what he's saying, really. That's not me saying he's a bad manager, but go ahead.
He's saying it to reinforce what he was saying before, that he's not in form per se. I'm paraphrasing here. However, he's a top player, meaning that he has that pedigree in his eyes. I'm not sure whether he's under pressure to play him or not. That I can't answer. But he's reinforcing what he believes of the player. Having said that, I can't see where he can deduce that based on the games that he's played under Potter. I don't see it. I'm being objective here.
Yeah, and look at one of the lawyers in your team, Tobago. Look at what he's saying in the chat. I'm not surprised. He's again, maybe it was a plan for Tobago to stay in the chat today to represent. You look at him arguing what is wrong in a manager saying the player likes to play. Go back, check the context. When he said that, the timing of what he said. What again? Just go ahead, Roger. I nearly called you Potter again today.
Yeah,
when you finish, I'll catch up with the chat. We'll go to the lineup building exercise immediately.
No, I listen. I'm not enamored with his press conferences. He doesn't come across as someone that's charismatic, shall we say. He's very business. He's a matter-of-fact kind of person, very business-orientated. I don't read too much into these press conferences. I really don't. You know, you'll never see him coming to a few microphones and saying, "I'm the special one." He's just not like that.
No, he's not like that. That's the truth. But we're talking about again his comments regarding the players is sending the wrong message.
Well, no, I don't agree with that. I've listened to him and I watch it from the moment he says hello, from the moment he sits down in his chair to the moment he leaves. I don't see what the hoorah is about it. I look at him and he's somewhat mundane. He's somewhat average. He's he's not charismatic, and I think things are taken out of context. That's how I'm perceiving it. That's how I'm interpreting it. I don't see
Mhm.
what you're saying and other people are saying about. He says this about player A, B, C, and D, and I'm like, I don't see it that way. I'm just being
Yeah,
honest with
and
you.
you agree we all see things from different lenses.
Yeah, yeah, of course we do, from different
And you can
prisms.
agree too because of his lawyer, you will never see any, say anything to incriminate or
No,
agree
no,
with
no, no,
anything that will incriminate,
no, no,
incriminate
no.
your
I d-
client.
no, no. I don't agree with what my client has been doing, playing Sterling, playing Pierre-Emerick. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with a lot of his selections. It befuddles me. His formations, okay, I don't have a problem with for the most part, but his player selections, and I'm not talking about in areas where we are so deficient because of injuries. I'm not blaming him for that. Do you understand? Like playing Silver too much. We don't have a choice. You can't really critique him for that. But up front, I do have issues with what Potter. I hope that you understand that I'm being very
No,
logical
no, no,
and,
no.
and
Roger,
very
believe me, I
fair.
know.
And
I
I'm
know.
being very fair. I'm not Potter out at all, you know. But it's
Mhm.
too early to base a decision on whether he's a good coach or not, because as I've said, it takes time. He could turn out. Look, we could forward 12 to 18 months time, and we could be sitting here saying, "Oh, coach, what is he doing? He hasn't improved the team at all." Therefore, if that
Are we
is the
saying that already?
case, then he needs to go. However,
Are we saying that
no, not
already?
I'm not, but I'm just saying if he continues like this for the next year and a half, 2 years. No, no, no. But I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying other people are intimating, and a lot of people are saying Potter out already. But if he starts winning cups or playing well, and you can see there's progress in his ethos and philosophy, then I say then he's
Mhm.
improving. So it's too early to pass judgment. That's all I'm trying to say. But I do not understand his logic with in certain choices he makes. I do not. I
Yeah,
don't
so
get
just
it.
quickly, let's bring it back to where we were. But again, as usual, one delicious comment here we really would like to look at. Without attack, a City
It's
wouldn't
so
even need a
true.
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They don't need a goalkeeper. Even the goalpost would be enough to stop us. Because without a goalkeeper, you can see our players, turning the goalpost in again into the target. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up to you too, Nuno Felipe Fernandez. Again, if you haven't, people, please, please, I beg you, the likes do go a long way for the channel. The more you like the stream, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the more people will be able to reach, and more people will have here, the more fun the show will be. So please take a second and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And truly, it's not fair that we have 38 votes on the poll. We started 29 minutes ago, and the show has run again for 1 hour plus, and we have just 31 likes. It takes just half a second to participate, to drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. Thank you, please. Let's get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. Nuno, welcome to the channel. If you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Nuno Felipe Fernandez asking, how come we lost again? Again, a pop side like Arsenal. Yeah, what the F? Yeah, let me just say that for you. So much money again, and we cannot get decent players. Chances are the issues aren't the players really, but that game we lost against Arsenal, it's everything. It's a manager selection, it's the tactical approach, it's a reaction to what was really going on the pitch. Again, it was you could say also the players themselves. They looked like they didn't want to play for the club. It was a dispirited performance, if there's any such word actually, but if there's not, I just made up one. Again, let
No,
me
no,
see what we
it
have
was
here.
dispirited. That's a good word.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, Nuno says again, I think I'm gonna be again a tight. It's gonna be a tight game. You think? Okay, I like your confidence. Even I, again, as you could say, as optimistic, I've always loved to be. This one, the numbers say otherwise. Really, I have to let you know that but you know, you cannot script this game. Great show again. Ochap again. John Furley, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. My view is Chelsea, Chelsea 0, Arsenal 11. Really? Okay. We'll see. Are we playing Arsenal today? I'm guessing you meant Manchester City. Like the stream, everyone, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's see. I'll try and again take comments from a few people here that I haven't taken the comment. And Jeremiah Paulus, again, sorry, your comment was deleted by a robot. It's not a human being. So you don't get pissed. It's a machine. So because probably you use so many letters at the same time, like the no you wrote there, I think it had 10,000 zeros. Probably it saw it as a spam. So apologies. It's again Thomas Bays. Nice to see you again, brother. It says for perspective, again, is there a soccer league you can equate the academy to? I am interested what the jump is really like. Roger, do you understand this question? If you can, please come to my rescue.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I was gonna say, have you gone conveniently deaf?
Me no English.
Me no English. Go ahead, Roger. Please help me out. I think it's I don't really understand the question. Really, I have to be honest. But go ahead if you understand.
Sure. So basically, the soccer league that you can equate the academy to, I would say, I was about to say MLS. I'm just kidding. I would say would be the 4th division or 3rd division, as it used to be called, which is now the 1st or 2nd. It's below the championship because they have very good players there. I would say the 2nd division probably, or the 1st, the average I'm talking about. So yeah, it's but having said that, look, we've got John Terry that has come from our academy. They're usually between 8 years of age and what 18. Do you understand? The academy produces, I think they're under 18s. I think there's 2 teams, isn't there? There's like a under 16 or under 18s. But these are basically very young men / boys. And I would say, look, we've produced people like, well, Broja, Mount, Reece James, Tomori, JT. It's a plethora of players that we have produced that are, I would say, upper echelon players, are very good professional players. So we have obviously been able to produce, I think, one of the best academies in Europe. I don't think that's a stretch to say, But on the average, like, it depends, because sometimes we deplete them, like we promote them like Reece James and Mount coming up through the academies, and then it takes a year or 2 to replenish that. But we actually, look, we've won 5 consecutive FA Cup, junior FA Cups, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, until last year. So we have a strong academy.
Yeah, we do. We do really. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you so much, guys, for finding the time to join the show. Again, it's interactive. Again, it's objective. Also, it's inclusive. Plus, again, it's democracy here, so we'll all have fun. Let me see what we have here. Again, I still think Porter needs more time. Yeah, I believe he needs more time, but I'd really like the Bluetooth again to respond to that one. He needs time, but how much time? And how much time is enough? And how much time is too much? We don't know. Again, it has to be defined. Like the argument we had from who yesterday, if the club saying so, I think it was Emperor. If the club comes out and say again, say anything that close to again what they're expecting from them, not just point figures at the manager, it's something like saying we expect to be able to achieve this season. That defines it for the fans. And again, you could say if you have anything, again, then some of us will be able to lower our expectations, and again, and not expect too much of the team, because we already know. Again, here's what the owners are expecting of him. But there's no talent. Some are saying even if it doesn't make it to top 4, that's fine. No, I don't think so, because it doesn't make any sort of sense. It doesn't make business sense. It's not good for again, financially we'll lose a lot of money. So again, there's no telling what really it is. Again, objection, Your Honor, on the grounds of waffle. Objection overruled.
Waffle.
Yes, stay where you are. Don't. Let's see what we have here again. Roger, again, rest the case for the defense. They are on you. Yeah, they are on you. And I am loving it, really.
I'm feeling it.
For me, I'm for the people. I'm where the people are, and I'm safe.
Hey,
What is wrong when the manager is saying that? I think I've read that. I'm going to skip quite a lot. Apologies. I will miss a lot of comments. Mawoko, I don't think I've read any of your comments today. Again, speaking of killers, Roger, Man City is a psychopathic football serial killer, and Chelsea is in the basement.
That sounds like a beautiful Chelsea.
Goodness! Oh, that is just hilarious. There. Let me see. I'm gonna skip quite a few things here. I think that's it. I'll be at the very bottom. Yeah. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna come back to you, Roger. Roger, again, you've tried to make a case for Lewis Hall, and you don't think he starts, right?
I doubt very much if he starts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Possible, but I doubt it. I mean, I would start him, but I don't think Potter will.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just quickly an update before we move on. I don't know if I'm allowed to play that video. Again, it's on Twitter, so I think I'm allowed to play it. No need to play it. Let's just read it here. Reece James has confirmed that he will now be part of England's World Cup at the Qatar World Cup due to the injury. I'm not feeling sorry for him for that. I already started feeling sorry for him when he got injured. Going would have been a risk.
Yes.
Again, it would have been painful if he gets to the World Cup and not even start a game and aggravate the injury during training. And it wouldn't make sense for England either because he's not fully fit. Why rush him back? They have all the good options to play in his place. I know, again, he's eager to go again to be at the World Cup because it's his first. But at the same time, it wouldn't make sense for England. It wouldn't make sense for Chelsea too. It's just an unnecessary risk, really. What do you think, Potter? Roger.
Really?
No. It was a mistake, really. But go ahead.
I get it. Of course. I mean, I'm not medically trained, but obviously he has to listen to the people around him. When I say people around him, I'm talking about to his medical staff. Mm-hmm. He's probably got multiple opinions if he's smart enough. That's what you do. You get 2 or 3 opinions. And if they conclude that it's high risk or that you're not able to participate at a level that is required to play as a professional, then it's nonsensical. So therefore, he's obviously taken the right approach. Only he knows his body better than anyone else. Even though he's a young man, you still know your body at that age. And he's probably listening to his body. He's probably not ready to play.
And if we're being honest, really, Roger, there's a chance he was the one that was pushing to go to the World Cup and probably pestered his doctor. Yeah, he's still young and pestered his doctor too much. And the doctor said, you know what, you could be ready like in a week or 2. But does he make any sort of sense? It doesn't really, but go ahead.
No, but you know, when you're that young, and let's put things in perspective, he's a very young man, you know. And we're talking about a World Cup finals with a decent team, you know. And also the people that play in his position, there's quite a few people that may not make the squad also. You're looking at Kyle Walker. You're looking at, Trent Alexander-Arnold's back now, but there's a chance that he won't even make the squad. So there's a possibility, had he been fit, he would have started. So he's probably thinking initially, you know what, if I can get into shape, I can make the squad, maybe not play the first couple of games, maybe the last of the third game, the last part, and maybe get my way into shape as the tournament progresses. And he's thinking probably I can do that. But this is his initial thought process, perhaps. But I think he's probably come to his senses, and or the people around him have advised him correctly. I mean, listen, it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I understand his, shall we say, joie de vivre, his wanting to do so, and his patriotism. So I get it, but yeah, it's not. It's
Do
not
you really think
logical.
it's about patriotism, about his just? I think it is love for football. Plus, it's a
Well,
World
yes,
Cup, really.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, to play for your country,
Hmm.
I'm not talking about political patriotism. I'm talking about, like if you're Italian, and you want to play in a World Cup, or no matter what country, actually. I shouldn't use any country as an example. You want and you love the sport, your respective sport, whether it be in gymnastics or whatever. You want to do that. It's what you aspire to do and dream as a child. So I understand his wanting to do so, but it doesn't make sense. Of course, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't really. I think it's an unnecessary risk, really.
And it could,
If we're being
and,
honest.
and medically speaking, it could ruin his season and or even his career. If you come back too early,
Yeah.
you could do serious damage playing injured.
So
So it
yeah,
just doesn't. You have to look at the long term, not the short term.
yeah. If we're being honest, again, not being selfish. It's to me, it's not about. It's a risk for Chelsea. It's a risk for England too. Not just about Chelsea. So if we're being factual, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. But like
Yes,
I said, it was just probably him pushing because he really
and
wants to be there.
logical.
Yeah, and it's not logical too. It doesn't make any sort of sense. We need him after the World Cup.
No,
Again, he's still young. He will get another chance. Yep. Again, let's see. After again the Chelsea Arsenal game conclude, Potter simply not got the talent. You have every right to come to that conclusion. I think he's got the talent, but he's not perfect. And no manager is perfect. Every manager has one weakness or the other. In Pep's case, sometimes his tinkering can become the issue. Sometimes he overdoes it. Name one manager, and I still say this is one problem I've seen with that manager. Again, but I get your argument. John, do you have the talent? Okay, continue with the conversation here. Then let me see anyone else to address that. Well said. Now, what do we have again? I in here for Chelsea Football Club. Graham Potter, not some of our players are not a Chelsea FC level. They're just not good enough. We have to be honest. The club can sack Potter, well, we'll have some issue. Yeah. Now you're realizing that that's an issue, and you can anyway. Tuchel didn't want your service as a lawyer then anyway, because I'm sure you blamed Tuchel when he said simply a same issue. Yeah. Now your client, you're defending your client, you're shifting the blame to the players. Jeremiah Paulus again. He says, I hope it's gone again. Chelsea is a big team, always in top five, but if the team is still playing the way it's playing now, that's a bad situation where today, again, we don't have a players now unless we buy forwards in January. We can't keep solving the problem by buying a loan. I think the problem goes beyond just the players. Again, do I think maybe there's something going on that we don't know really. Reece has a lot of time again left in his career. Yeah, he can still go to 2-3 more World Cups really. Again, in a World Cup, as much as he's disappointed, it's good for him in the long run. So I am not really that disappointed. I'm not. Again, I've cried. Again, I've felt sorry for him when he got injured, but right now, no, it's a risk. It doesn't just make any sort of sense. I wonder where all this fire was again when Thomas Tuchel was the manager. He didn't have. He had again. You could say before the issues, the issues he faced arose, he only had a few lawyers, really, not everyone. Maybe temporarily people defended him, but moment he was spotted that was coming in, yeah, people shift of focus. Who's going to be in the right back position for City? I don't know really. I'm not sure. Again, I can't say who Pep will start. I'm not sure really. Let's see what we have again. We blamed Tuchel again, but got him sacked, so that that's on him. This lawyer is really confusing me. It shouldn't be saying what he said publicly. This lawyer is confusing me. Aspa, I will guess again a back four. Okay. We'll get into it. Let's see what we have here again. Just Viola, who is Thomas Tuchel? Yeah, I don't know either. So let's find out. And let me go again open this. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm all right, coach. How's you? How's you, Roger? How's you,
Hey,
buddy?
Dan.
How's everyone?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And apologies, I missed your show. I had to go and vote. That vote was very important to me. But that's by the
okay.
way. Yeah.
I got off early because my internet last night was playing up. But we were talking about loads of rumours about the Chelsea football team, about Potter. What I've just sent you on the picture, coach. Right, there's basis on this influence about the Chelsea football players. What it is, I think with Potter, because he's been there for 2 months. It's now to time. Everyone's getting fed up with all these rumours about the players who not want to be there and consistently. Potter, what it is with Potter, right? He's trying to figure out this situation with the players, with the fitness, their welfare. If you noticed, there was a thing on Todd Bowley's Twitter saying about all the players' welfare are not really fully fit. They ain't really fit, and there's loads of injuries with all these players. And all that lot. We was talking about it last night, and my mate sent me this thing. Aubameyang, he's still struggling from his jaw. I know it's not in its screws. People saying
So,
it's screws with all
let me get this from you, Dan. I'm sensing you're a Potter lawyer too. You're saying nothing is his fault.
It's not his fault, no.
Okay, go ahead.
Because
Interesting.
Because I'm going to tell everyone in the Chelsea fan base now, yeah. Potter is trying his best to get all these players recovery for fully fitness, because there's a statement that came out this morning on Todd Bowley that all these players, what we've got in the system, there's only 3 or 4 players are fully fit. The rest of them ain't really fit. They haven't been fit for a while. They've been Raheem Sterling. He's got a kind of a slight knee injury, but he's keeping him playing because he's trying to get the strength out of their knee. All these players are not fully fit. What's going on? Because when you see against Arsenal, a lot of people said that there's loads of rumours saying they don't play as a team and they don't trust each other. No, it's nonsense. Todd Bowley's come out with that if you see him against Arsenal, they were fully not fit to play this game, and that's why Cucurella is somehow not fit enough to play. Potter's trying to get a solution to where he could keep this formation with the players and play, and everything. And because we haven't got a physical fitness coach at Chelsea Football Club, that Potter and his team are trying their best to try and keep him fit and healthier. But the situation with the players, they've come out and told Potter, we ain't fully fit, but we're going to try our best to be as a team, because they're not, coach. They're not. It is true what Todd Bowley's saying. They're not medical fit to play on a pitch, and all of them are suffering from their knees. But
okay.
Have you see now? Yeah, tonight's game against Man City, Potters have now officially gone out and got the youth academy for the team for tonight's game. Like Sam Hull, he'll be playing as left back. You've got Omari Hutchinson, who's been brilliant in the 21, scoring goals and assists and that. They're going to give them guys a chance tonight. You've still got Broja, who's clearly healthy and fit. You have Conor Gallagher, healthy and fit. Kovacic is slight injury with his knee problems.
You mentioned all those players. That's good case for your client. And here's what I'm going to say quickly, if you don't mind, really. If you don't mind, there's a static sound coming from your microphone. If you can go back and come back in, maybe that fixes it.
Okay, sorry, coach.
Yeah, no worries, bro. It happens. Have you not been here when my internet was acting up too? So you can go back and come back, and that may fix it. Again, we're going to continue with the show. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, half of these lawyers need to be struck up. Yeah, it's not up to us. Their client has to do that himself. Henry Kanechukwu, watching it from Russia. This channel. Oh, thank you so much, brother. Again, yeah, I'm sure you're a Nigerian. Kanechukwu. Yep, again, a good name. I know the meaning there. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I hope you're safe wherever you are in Russia. Again, I appreciate you saying where you're watching from. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Again, TT is my favorite manager. The way he's stood up for us during the sale. The sale wasn't really an issue. It was the sanctions. It was the time where literally we weren't sure if we'd have enough money to travel for European games or to travel for games. When he said he wouldn't mind driving the bus and all that. But again, yeah, why the owners didn't consider that, I don't know really. But again, I hope the decision they've made don't blow up again in their faces and hit the fan. Because if it hits the fan, when the crap hits the fan, it touches everyone. Because if it blows up on their face, yeah, we get affected too. So I'm hoping it works. I'm kidding. I love TT, but I moved on. Yeah, probably you haven't moved on really, since you're kidding about what you said before. With the present manager, I can bet that Chelsea will be again 7th on the table at the end of the season. That is if we're close to that, because a lot of teams are playing quite well really. There's a chance we'll also make it the top 4, but you don't know. Carlo Ancelotti, my number 1, he will always be. Again, he was unfairly sacked. Not just him, again, a via text message too. After winning a double, the next day he was sacked. That begs the question: will Graham Potter still be here? Had Roman still, if Roman is still the owner of the club? But that's, by the way, welcome, Henry. Again, yep, welcome, Henry. Again, we all Potter lawyers now, not me. You have Daniel in your team, and the lead lawyer there is Roger. He's the one that represents Graham Potter with big English words. Again, that confuses the jury when they listen. Kovacic and Zakaria have been picked to play in the World Cup squad for their countries. So making excuses for Kovacic as in he's lost in an injury doesn't make any sense. Are you reserving him for his country? We're paying him. And then I'm quite sure his country, I'm paying him half of what we're paying him to play for us on weekly basis. So yeah, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. Yeah, again, I keep liking the video, guys. We're at 43 likes. Let's try to get it 100 to 50 likes as soon as possible. Let's shoot for 100 by the time the show ends. Again, a move to strike on the ground. So again, here I say, yeah, exactly. Again, let's be honest. On the summer, we didn't buy new players. We replaced Rudiger, Christensen, Alonso, Saul, and Timo with Koulibaly, Fofana, Cucurella, Zakaria, and Sterling. Yeah, you could argue that it's a good argument. So again, I'm going to stop reading now. Let me say hello to anybody I haven't said hello to. Big up to my brother DJ Sav. He says big up Coachella and everyone in the chat. How is Potter legal lawyer doing? What case is he again on? Ask him a straight question. Before you know it, he'd start talking about his client. Making excuses even without knowing it. You know him. You know the leading lawyer quite well. Again, it's so useful when you have a judge in your pocket. Oh my, big up, coach. Yeah, I'm not the judge.
I love these messages on your channel today, coach. They're making me laugh.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, like I said, apologies that I missed your show and I told you why. Yes, people, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's go get into building the lineup. Again, I'm sure you agree with this one. We can't do otherwise. Roger, I'm sure you agree with Mendy starting between the sticks. We can't do otherwise. It's as simple as that. Here, I've told you to make a case for Lewis Hall. You don't think he's starting there. Can he actually play in the left back position?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. Lewis Hall. Yeah, he can.
Do you think he starts, Dan?
Yeah, I think he will start. Yeah, today at left back over Cucurella. I would like to, this is what I was just going to ask you a question. Yeah, right. On you and Roger. Actually, because we got DJ stuff. What it is I would like to see Bellatoni, who we got from Fulham, who hasn't really played for the first team football.
Who?
I would like to Bellatoni, the goalkeeper.
Oh, Bettinelli.
Bettinelli.
Yeah, Bettinelli. That's it. Sorry, Mark.
You just butchered his name too.
Big time.
It's because I can't pronounce people's names properly sometimes. I saw it, boys.
But go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, but I would like to see him play for a cup game because
Actually, I'd like to see the young American, the 18-year-old play.
who's that? It's, what Salone?
I think that will settle. That will send the wrong message. Really.
No, I'm saying maybe the second half. I'm just saying, in a real, I would like to see him how good he is.
Yeah.
Is this okay? Like he's still in the squad. He's training with them right now, right?
Yes.
Is he registered?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I believe so. He made the squad, and I believe that I read that he was supposed to stay with us for a couple of weeks and then determine if he was going to be loaned out, and if so, where. If he wasn't going to stay with the squad, like be number 3. And it's been how long now since the season's over? It's been a week or two, so I'm not sure what his status is now. I haven't read anything to otherwise state that he's been loaned out, so he must be with the team.
It's that Solana who we bought it in America.
Yeah, from Chicago Fire.
Slonina, Gabriel Slonina, Gaga.
Yeah,
is he back now? Is he back now? From
he joined. I'm not sure, but I don't think he's registered to play. But I'm not sure. We're not going to get. But he's not going to get. He's not going to start over Bettinelli, and he's not going to get. Mendy starts really. Mendy starts again. As much as again, it's easy to play down the importance of this game. It's a very important game. It's even more important given that we lost against Arsenal. And it's a domestic game. It's not like the loss against Arsenal was a European game, and it was again some other country in Europe. You can say, yeah, but no, I don't think it's risking anything here. As much as I think maybe, except if Kukurea is that bad that he decided Kukurea is too bad, that again that he has to start. What's his name, Lewis Hall. But the question I want to ask, if you're in the chat, what was his comment? Then let me say, I think. Liam Lynn sent me a message. I think his exact words were, I think that they will get involved. They will be involved. Was that the term he used? Let me see. I think that was the time Liam Lynn used when he talked about Lewis Hall is in the squad and will be involved. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to start. What do you think, Roger?
Who is this you're referring to?
The statement, Porter's statement during his press conference, I think he mentioned that the young stars will get involved, be involved.
But that doesn't mean start.
Yeah, it doesn't mean start. Yeah, it could be just 5 minutes, for each of them. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think Solonina won't play. No, he won't. It's impossible. Again, Dan is dangerously close to being in contempt of court with.
That's funny.
With those pronunciations. You sounded like your legal expert, really. Let me see anything. There's nothing else to address here.
Guys, can I ask you a question quickly?
Yeah.
Do you think that we should really have an important with this cup game? Because I think we should just get knocked out of this cup, focus on the Newcastle game on Saturday, and after the World Cup, why don't we focus more into the Champions League, and then when the FA Cup comes back after the Christmas, then focus on that? Because
no. I disagree. Really,
you always want to go to Wembley. You always want to go to Wembley.
Yeah. Again,
I know what you're saying, Roger. I know what you're saying, but for a minute, the way our team's got, I think this is just should be a warm of authority.
No, it shouldn't really. Not when you can say, given the way again we're doing right now, given that again we're not sure what's going to happen. We need at least one trophy this season. Maybe that's the only one we can win. I think listen, for obvious reasons, Dan. I don't know how else to explain this so you can understand it. This game is a must-win game, most especially after that loss against Arsenal.
Yeah, sorry. But this game, this cup ain't really to qualify for for the Champions League or the UEFA. If we've got the FA
Hey,
Cup and focus on the FA Cup, we can at least get into the UEFA or the UEFA for that
well,
game.
I
The
don't want to,
trophy.
again, that's me. I don't want us to play UEFA League, Europa League. Go
It's
ahead,
the lesser,
Roger. If you want to, Roger, can you
Okay.
respond to that?
it's the lesser of two cups. I get Dan's understanding. The FA Cup is far more prestigious, traditionally speaking, but I still think silverware is silverware. If we can, by hook or by crook, either win or at least get to penalties and win, then you know what? And advance. And the longer you advance in a cup tournament based on today's domestic cups, the more opportunity you allow your junior players / academy players to advance, to progress as a professional. So it behooves the team and the entity as a football organization to advance as far as possible, because that allows your younger players to advance themselves, and also allows the manager / coach to see how they're doing, because you can't really, duplicate a real speed of a game like you can in practice with that level of competition. I know conversely you can say, well, but that's how injuries occur because we're playing so many games. That is true, but you can't think like that, otherwise you'll never play a game.
Yeah. And here's the thing again, Roger, I haven't asked you this again. And here's DJ updating us. Slonina will officially be again around to start in January 2023, not
Okay.
now. Yeah. So
Thanks,
again,
DJ.
he hasn't joined us officially. I think he joined just because again he's a Chelsea player after all, and again and can join us and can join the squad, train with the squad. I believe. I'm not sure about all this. I doubt if he's actually trained with them. I think he just. I'm not sure. I'm not sure really.
Okay. I
But we'll
was
get to that.
assuming. I was assuming. So yeah.
Yeah. Lewis Hall again is a midfielder. Even though he played left back last season, don't
Yes, he
see him
is.
starting there. Yeah, but again, he's capable of playing there too, and which
Sure.
was why Thomas Tuchel deployed him there. I think he was left centre back position, and he did quite well. Yeah, I know he can play centrally too.
Coach, we have
Yeah.
so many number 8s in this squad. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so if he's gonna get any chance, he will most likely be there.
Yeah.
He will most likely be on the left, but I don't really see him again. Him starting over Cucurella, because I still think this man will go with experience. But if Graham Potter deploys him in the midfield where he can play, I'd like to see it really, because we lack numbers there. But also, there's a chance. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm a bit confused myself.
Omari Hutchinson is a left wing, so he could play as a left wing.
Yeah. Coming to you, Roger, can you make a case again for a back four or a back three? Which do you think it will be really?
Back four.
Yeah, because
think going
too
forward,
much of a
because
risk to go with the back three against City, right?
Yeah, well, that and the fact we don't have the luxury of the availability of centre backs. We're thin. We cannot be playing Silva today. We cannot.
So you don't think Silva and Koulibaly start? You think it will be one of the two?
Chalobah and Koulibaly, because Silva, if you noticed, he is an elite player, and I say that sincerely. But if you notice, the last 4 or 5 games, he's been making mistakes which he never did.
You can say down to him being mentally tired.
Yeah, mentally and physically, his legs. As I'm trying to think of the gentleman on ESPN. He always says that the Scottish guy. It's not Craig Burley. It's the other one that used to play for Liverpool. He would always mention Stevie Nicol. Thank you. Is that DJ?
Yeah, that's DJ.
Hello.
Have you guys connected?
Yes, DJ. Yeah, big up DJ, man. Big up to you, buddy.
So Steve Nicol always says, if you remember,
big up, guys.
Once your legs go, your mind goes next. If you ever notice, he talks about his legs going, and then that's tired players. That's when they make mental mistakes, and I think that could be the case with. I mean, listen, if you had told me a few years ago that we'd have a 38-year-old playing, regardless of position, outfield, that is playing at an elite level, I would have laughed at you. I would have thought 34, 35 tops. 38 he's amazing, but your body can only take so much, and I think the errors that we're seeing now is this is oversimplification, but I think it's in direct result from him playing too many games.
And if I push him too much, he'd burn out.
Yeah, or pull a hammy, you know.
Yeah, and here we have again. That was against Middlesbrough, if I'm not mistaken. This is Man City we're talking about. Yeah, I don't remember the game in question, but he did quite well under Thomas Tuchel. DJ, coming to you. Just again, going back to this delicious contribution here by Mikhail. I want to again. What do you think, really, Potter? What he would do, and what again? If it's up to you, what would you do?
What for tonight's game?
What do you think he'd do, and what would you do if it was up to you?
Yeah, for me, listen. I think this is probably more. First of all, big up to you guys, by the way.
Big up to you, brother. No worries.
First of all, I think this game is probably less pressure for Graham Potter than probably the Premiership game is.
Sure.
I think the Champions League game was another one to take his mind off the Premiership, because, as we all know, the Premiership's the bread and butter of everyone, of every team in the Premiership. So for me, this would be a game that I think he'll cherish, he'll welcome, and I think it gives him a chance to he knows. Obviously, we still can't take this game for lightly, because obviously it's Manchester City, it's the opposition. But I think he'll go into this game knowing that he can make some changes into the team that he thinks can go out there and still do a job without having too much pressure put on him. Because let's be honest, guys, not everyone I do believe, from probably here right through to the tabloid newspapers and everyone else, is not expecting Chelsea to win this game. So that puts less pressure on him and more pressure probably on Pep Guardiola to get a result out of this. So when I see a manager that is probably...
Do you think that will have any measure of impact negatively or positively?
I think it's positive, Coach, because knowing the fact that he knows that...
We didn't see that against Arsenal.
No, but again, bro, if you think about that one, Coach, you're right, we didn't. But then that's probably more of a pressurising game because it's the Premiership. This is a cup competition. And listen, I think we've got to be honest with ourselves here. Our only way of winning something this season is going to be a trophy, right? Yeah. And if we can end up winning this League Cup, brilliant. But at the same time, it puts less pressure on Graham Potter to actually get this right. So if it does all go wrong and we lose tonight, as long as we don't get battered, I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I want us to obviously go, and as a Chelsea fan, I want us to go and win every game. So yes, he'll still try and put a team out still good enough to beat Pep's team tonight, because I think the two players you've got in there at the moment, Koulibaly and Chalobah, will be probably the two that will start tonight. Lewis Hall, there's talk about Lewis Hall maybe possibly coming in ahead of Cucurella because of injury to Ben Chilwell. That's a possibility. I think if out of the two players, you're looking at
okay,
Omar
now
Hutchinson.
You're still talking what you think he would do and not what you would do.
Well, I think what he would do is he'll go into this game without no pressure, Cucurella, to be honest with you. And I think you know he knows either way. We obviously want to win, but it'll be less pressure for him than it probably be in the Premiership game.
And what would you do differently? Again, let me, since I'm still with you, DJ, let's go straight to this. Can you make a case for Omari Hutchinson? That name, what is difficult?
Omari Hutchinson
to start.
Omari Hutchinson, coach.
Omari, Dan, I did not butcher his name like you butchered the player's name.
I heard that. Was it Slanona? Was it Slanina? Or was that
he changed his name to some other player's name. But
Balotelli.
He called it Balotelli. Yeah, literally.
Balotelli.
Yeah. So
the butter. Balotelli.
So DJ.
Sorry. Yeah, bruv. Sorry.
Make a case for Omari Hutchinson to start. A solid case. Why you think if you believe it start? Why you think it start? Make a case for him, really.
I don't think he'll start. I would love him to start. I've seen him play in the youth game.
Potter's comment that him and Lewis Hall will be involved doesn't mean they will start.
One of them I think will start tonight. I think Lewis Hall's probably more the likely. I think he's probably going to end up resting Cucurella tonight. I think Lewis Hall's more likely to start out of the two. And Omar Hutchinson will come at the left back position.
Yeah, the left back position.
And I think Hutchinson comes on afterwards, but I don't think he'll start this game. As much as I'd love him to start, I don't think it'll be he'll start straight away. But he'll get his time on the pitch tonight. So yeah, I think I'd go with I probably would say again, as I said, it'll be less pressure on him to experiment, but he still won't put Omar Hutchinson for the start of this game.
if to me, if anything it was worth risking, I wouldn't risk anything in the defensive area.
You don't think Lewis Hall could be good? I mean, he played pretty well last season when he got his chance.
Yeah, but this is Man City.
Yeah,
If
I
I'm
know
being
it's Manchester
honest.
City, but let's be honest, though, Kutcher. They're going to be playing a lot of their youth. I mean, people have been saying that their youth team could possibly could probably end up pepping our first team, right? As well, because they're that great. But listen, they're going to be making changes tonight as well. Let's be honest here, and I think the one player that will definitely start for Man City tonight will be Erling Haaland, despite all the secrets of Pep saying, I don't know if I'm going to start him. He's more than likely he's going to start tonight's match. So, that's my only concern on that. And if they do happen to think Lewis Hall is the place where they're probably going to target, then I'm sure, I'm sure Chelsea will already be fully aware of that. And I'm sure Potter will be fully aware of that. That's probably what they're going to do. But, I for one, think he will start a strong team, but there will be some surprises in that team tonight.
Let me explain why I don't see him risking making the slightest change in the defensive area, except if he's forced to do so. I think it will be a huge risk, because here's the thing: our defense, you could say, it is out of experience that Koulibaly, again, you could say, and Silva and Chalobah, they're doing well as they're doing right now. Our defense, again, every time we play again, they're everywhere. And it's a lack of proper chemistry. And the only change there is actually Cucurella. And he's played with them for a while now, which means it had a better understanding with Koulibaly, even Silva or Chalobah, whoever starts. But bringing in Lewis Hall in here and have him start here compounds the problem. The defensive area is the most difficult to assemble. If you're talking about assembling a team being a puzzle, that is especially true for this defensive area, where the slightest of change in personnel, in terms of changing one player there, there's a lot of, chemistry breaks down even to the others who know themselves. Watch games where, for instance, Koulibaly drops to cover the line, and Chalobah that was the goal. What game was that? What goal was what I'm trying to remember? Was that the goal against Salzburg? They scored first, right? I think it was that. Koulibaly read the game. He went here to cover the goalpost. And Chalobah didn't read it well enough to sense that Koulibaly is already there. So I should close up on this guy here. And the guy, again, and the Salzburg guy, if you understand what I'm trying to explain. It is due to lack of chemistry. So it will get worse if you make a change there and bring, you could say, an inexperienced Lewis Hall. So if he wants to get a chance, So to me, my argument, I'm coming down. My argument is this: if anybody has a better chance of starting, it will more likely be Omari Hutchinson and not a defensive player, really. Except if Graham Potter is forced. This is forced to do so. But go ahead with your response. And I know Dan wanted to say something too. Go ahead, DJ. And again, can we look at this comment really? This is, if you start reading it, you will think, oh, okay. He's trying to say that after the World Cup, after the World Cup,
jump
because
into
of
the
the
Trump
World Cup,
career and football.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness me! Seriously, some of these comments, honestly, big up to some of these people in the comment section. Honestly,
oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I was thinking he was going to say we'll have time when the World Cup is on for players to be ready, and he said jump into the truck.
Is this guy part of the Beautiful Games? Is he part of the same team, mate? Because his comments, it sounds like him. Yeah. It's similar to him, doesn't it? Oh, mate, seriously.
Yeah, no, listen, go ahead. You were saying something.
I was just going to say, I think, you know what, Kachila, this is a situation where I get where you're coming from, and I can understand your worry in terms of the defence situation. I think what my concern will be is we've only now got one left back that's fully fit at the football club, who can play as a left wing back, who can play as a left-sided left back or left side of a back three. And that is obviously Cucurella. If that guy gets injured, I'm not saying it can happen. If he was to get injured, we're more or less done for. And I think that's one of the reasons why. Whereas you look at the forward line, when you look at the forward line, you've got options there. Obviously, you've got Omar Hutchinson, you've got Sterling, you've got Havertz, you've got Mount, you've got any of those kind of players that can play in there. Whereas with our left back at this moment in time, you don't have many options. And if
you're
if
thinking
if Cucurella was to
he will be prioritizing the game against Newcastle.
I think that's what, as I keep saying, that is our bread and butter, and that's where we want to be. Because at the moment, where we're sitting at the moment in the Premiership is not. I think it's not. I mean, as much as I can say, as much as I can say, I know we won't stay there. There are some Chelsea fans out there that don't like the position we're in at the moment in the Premiership, and I can understand that. But for me, I think personally for this particular game, and as I keep saying, people will say it's Manchester City. We've got to be careful of the team that we put out. We can't take them lightly. I would never take a Manchester City, especially a Pep Guardiola team, lightly, because we just know what this guy's going to bring.
He never takes teams lightly.
Either way,
if he can beat you 20 goals to nothing, he will do it.
He'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it.
He doesn't care whether you're from top again at tier 70 of the club level. So, but go ahead, DJ.
At the same time, though, we also got. If you look at our team and their team, come and look. He can bring in 2 players in each position. He's probably got about 3 players in each position for each position they play in. He can probably bring 2 or 3 players to play them positions. Should their number one type and their number one get hurt, they've got another one who can come in straight. Whereas we don't have that luxury. And this is why I think had it not been, if Ben Chilwell did not get that bad injury, then I can have the argument and say, you know what, Cucurella starts this game. But I don't know if you'd risk. Is it worth risking? Because Lewis Hall, I thought, and because he's versatile as well, Lewis Hall. Let's not forget this as well. I didn't think he had a couple when he started last season. Regardless of the opposition I didn't think he had a bad game. He made that one mistake.
No, he did
People going on about that. He did that one mistake, but he made up for it.
Here's one thing, DJ. He cancelled the mistake immediately.
Exactly.
Because it was from correcting his mistake. He got the ball back and made an assist from it.
Yeah.
So I still remember the game quite well. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I think personally, I don't think it'd be a risk playing him in this game. To be honest with you, I think he'll have Koulibaly. He'll have the experience of Koulibaly. And we're talking about Aspi being on the right hand side. He'll have that experience of those guys around him. Obviously, Chalobah's obviously more. Chalobah's also got the experience of Koulibaly and Aspi. But if you look at Chalobah and Lewis Hall, who's got the experience more? Probably Chalobah, isn't it? So he'll have that experience as well. So he has got the help there should anything was to go wrong. This is why I think it probably wouldn't be an issue to start Lewis Hall in for today's game. I mean, but like we probably said, Cucurella, it's more than likely he's probably going to go with Cucurella. But I wouldn't moan or get upset if he was to start.
Which was why I said Omari Hutchinson gets again. He has, to me, that's how I see it. Except if Lewis Hall gets a chance in the midfield area and he's trying not to risk too much, I don't know really. But to me, I think Omari Hutchinson has a better chance of starting because he provides something. He brings something different to the team that we don't already have, really. We don't currently have. I'm going to catch up with the chat. I'll come back to Dan. He makes his contribution. I know whether Roger has anything to say so that we'll go ahead, complete the lineup and call it a day. Big up, y'all, says my sister, Miss Alano. How are you doing again? A happy birthday again. I hope you had some fun. Sorry again, the performance of the men's team ruined it for you. But the women's team said, hey, cheer up. We're here for you, especially James. It looks like when either of the James is in the team, we play. It looks like she's the one carrying the team. Let's see what we have here again. Lawrence says again, we want a super Tommy Tuchel. He knows exactly what we need. Starling in the attack, Silva at the back. Chelsea gonna win the Champions League.
The song sung, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
That's the song everyone was singing in the bridge every time we played.
Yeah,
when Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, let's just support the manager we have now. That's all I'm gonna say, Lawrence. For me, I am done.
Oh, seriously, Miss Eleanor, you're done. I can't believe that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Come on.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that. I don't believe she
I don't believe she's done, really. Again, here's the thing. Sometimes I can get so pissed because I record every game to rewatch them. But sometimes I get so pissed I delete even the ones I've recorded previously. Delete all sports app on my phone but I can't do that now that I'm a content creator. when I wasn't a content creator, I just delete all of them. I say, okay, let me tune out from Chelsea. Yeah, but next time I'll be searching. Next 15 minutes, I'll be searching for Chelsea news. No, yeah, we don't agree. Again, with this season, she meant in terms of expectation, I believe. Again, I want to care. Oh, yeah. Again, something is okay. Okay, go. If you know how to solve that, go ahead. Please, the manager should start Ziyech. Ian, do I think it will happen? Possibly, because we're paying him. Probably paying him a lot of money. Probably he earns more than a lot of players on the team. But I think his body language doesn't look like something the manager will look at and decide to start him again.
He's not
It looks
happy.
like,
He's not happy
it
at
doesn't
Chelsea.
look. Yep, it doesn't look like he's happy. He looked absent-minded on 2 occasions now that he's gotten the chance to play. He was just playing for the sake of it. But that's, by the way, Dan. What do you want to say? So we want to move on and complete again the lineup.
I agree on DJ what you were saying about Cucurella, because if you think of it, Coach, yeah, we could argue about the situation. We've only got the one left back, yeah, and if Cucurella says got in the game tonight, he gets injured, we're buggered for the Saturday's game. I reckon what he's going to do is going to play Sam Hull as left back with Koulibaly, right? Give him the chance, because since lately, yeah, he's been playing left back in the 21 squad. He's been really good for the 21s.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he gets gaming time, and if it doesn't work well for the last 70 or 80 minutes, then bring on Cucurella on for the of the sub bench and bring him on for the last few minutes of the game. But with Sam, Omari Hutchinson, yeah, I think Omari Hutchinson will be he'll get the game, but in the second half, because he's a left winger. He will be playing a better as a left winger. So we have to have Sam Hull at left back, because he has got the experience. And I can remember that last game last season, he did well and he came back and got an assist. Yeah, this guy's it's proved himself that he could be a good young talent for Chelsea Football Club, and he's proven itself in the under-21s squad. So that's why I think Potter will start him tonight as a left back with Koulibaly and Chalobah. So we can't risk Cucurella getting injured for Saturday's game, because if he gets injured, who else will we play apart from Sam Hull? There's no other left backs, and disgusting if Potter does put Cucurella on the start. I think it'd be a big mistake putting him on tonight's game, because if he gets injured, that's it. We'll be struggling. Because we've got 5 players out already. We've got 5 players out already, right? We've got the likes of Varna, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, right? Jorginho now with his foot, right? Kante, yeah, Kepa. So we can't keep risking more of our players to be injured. And Covey is not really fit. He's still got a slight injury on his thigh. So I don't think he'll be first choice, even though we would stop the Tupi playing tonight. I wish he don't, because lately a few games he's been dreadful as a centre mid. It's been terrible for us. Sunday he was shocking against Arsenal. But these players, yeah, I think some of these players will get time to play against Man City. And like DJ said, Eden Haaland, like Pep said, he ain't going to play him, but he will play him tonight, so he could get fully fit, because he hasn't really played like first minute football since the Fulham. He had only about 10 minutes and scored a penalty. That was about it. Then tonight he will want him to have a fully fit game, full game, to be fit for the weekend. So this is the basis what Potter's got trying to do to keep our system players, to try and keep them fully fit for the Saturday's game. And if we're going to start Cucurella and he gets injured, that's it. We're done.
All right. Again, Roger, you want to add anything to that, or should we just go ahead?
Let's go ahead. That's fine.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Again, we have Mario Minto in the house. Again, I keep recovering, brother. I'll continue praying for you. I hope you recover fully soon, but I know you feel much better. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I cannot wait for the post-game reaction tonight. I'm going to make a killing on the bus ticket sales. I might just add an extra £5 per ticket per goal conceded.
God. Is this because we said Lewis Hall should start tonight, the beautiful game? Is that the reason why he's saying that? Or is he just concerned in general?
No. I think he's saying that because he's felt like
I love his comments.
He probably again he's always said we're getting battered, really. We're getting battered. So again, I'm gonna come to you, Roger. Please again, can you make a case for Omari Hutchinson to start? Or you think it's not possible or it's not necessary?
I would love to see him start.
But do you think it will happen, really?
Which position would you place
whatever
him in?
position? That's why we haven't filled it up before we start talking about that question.
Yeah, I listen. He'll probably play as a number 10, correct?
No, on the wings, most likely.
Well, yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying. I call them number 10s. 8 and 11 that you have there, they're basically number 10s, but it depends on the formation. But I know what you're saying. I don't want to see Sterling play. I don't know how many games he started consecutively
Good luck.
now, but exactly. I don't believe he has warranted playing today. Sterling, I'm referring to. So I think maybe Pulisic or Ziyech or Hutchinson. Yes, why not? He's supposed to be talented. He's our future. This is a cup game, but I foresee Potter being conservative and trying to play players into form. He may even start Ziyech. I don't know, but I don't understand his logic in the front 3 to 4 players going forward.
Let's start by again solving this question. How important is this game really, given that we've lost against Arsenal and it's a cup game? Probably most likely the only trophy we could be, you can say by the end of the season that we could be able to get.
It's important. Well, he places far more importance in the Premier League and Champions League, obviously. So, yeah.
So you're not sure, really?
No, I don't think he's going to put too much importance in any domestic cup games. I don't.
Is Jamareka back, Carney? Is he back from injury?
No.
Who?
Oh, okay.
Carney, Chucklemaker, no.
Carney.
No, hamstring. Probably again. It wouldn't be. I think late December. That was what I saw. Let me look at it quickly. But go ahead, Roger. What you're saying? So you don't think think Omari Hutchinson? You think he has a chance to start? Carney will be out until again early December.
Wow, is it that long? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think he should start. I think Hutchinson should start personally myself, but I don't believe Potter will put him in that position. I think if anything, he will bring him in later in the game, if at all.
I think it should start even over Mount, over Sterling, really, over those two players. Yeah, even Kai Havertz too. But again, but we'll see what happens. I think he should get his chance. Mix it up again. Even if you start all the big name players, I just throw the kid in there. Again, now I'm just looking to capitalize on the impending annihilation. It's a shame. Buses don't run on tears. Wow. Okay, let's come to the 2-6s. I think it becomes even more difficult now. Roger, let me start with you. Again, given we're going by this structure, who do you think starts here? I think Zakaria most likely will start, but alongside who? Because Jorginho isn't playing.
I just noticed you're playing the 4-2-3-1, not a 4-3-3. Yeah, I think Zakaria plays, no doubt about it.
Alongside who?
Kovacic will be starting.
Yeah, Kovo. If he's fit enough, Kovo. If not, Mount or Ruben.
I don't want Ruben on. I don't want Ruben.
I really do think Kovacic starts here. Again, let me ask those in the chat. Dan, your argument, the two parent there, I think Zakaria starts this one. If it doesn't, then Potter he's really creating, again, compounding the issues we're having right now, again, intentionally, really, if you want to phrase it that way. But go ahead, Dan, your argument, the 2 6s, who starts there?
I think Covey or Sakuya.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, mate, he's been putting Mason Mount as the centre mid, but I think he'll be going to a 4-3-3 tonight instead of 4-2-3-1.
And just quickly, Lawrence Nightbot is not a human being; it's a machine, really. So that's why, because you used more than 2 emojis, that's why it deleted the comment. It's not a human being, so don't take it personal. If you use more than 1 emoji, I think more than 2 emojis, then it would delete the comment. Okay. Yeah, it's not a human being, really. So don't fight a machine. I know you don't know. So go ahead. You were saying something, Dan.
I want to say to you, Coach, I would change it to a 4-3-3. I reckon it'll be Covey, Mason Mount, and Sakuya for the front 3. Lewis Shaw as a left back and Koulibaly, Chalobah, Aspie, and then Mendy. Then I think the front 3 will be Mason, Pulisic, Kai Havertz and Broja. That's what I think. That'd be the formation for tonight.
Mm-hmm. DJ, how about you? Who do you think starts centrally? I know if DJ doesn't pick Zakaria, I'll ask him his ID.
Nah, listen. Yeah, you already know, Kuchilla. You already know my thoughts on that. Yes, Zakaria starts tonight's match, and I tell you what, if he doesn't start this game tonight, there will be questions asked because
yes.
Because the reason why he's saying that is because he plays so well against Zagreb. Doesn't know for whatever reason why he was left out of the Arsenal match, and then he gets dropped for this game, and then you then have to ask, you then have to ask the question. Then what are you doing, Potter, with these players? Because you've got you can't play certain players in that position. You have got a player who we brought in from loan, give him an opportunity, see what he can do. He's already proved to you what he can do. He even scored a flipping goal in his debut. What more does a guy need to do to get into this team?
To take away
and
the
showed
scoring
him
is what the production
something we don't
like.
have in the absence of N'Golo Kante.
Exactly, and I've always said this, and people may laugh at me when I say this, and it's only because of the way I look at him, the way he plays his game. I've seen Zakaria play for a while now for Juventus, and saw him play for his previous team in Germany before he joined, or his Swiss team that he played before he came to. And he very much reminds me of a Michael Essien built type player, man. The guy's got it all. He's strong.
DJ.
He's got everything about him.
He played for Manabach. He played for Manabach.
And Tola, let him drop. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, and the guy, and people don't realize the guy's got a shot on him as well. I think people have got to see that as well. The guy's got a shot. He can score goals from distance as well. He reminds you. That's why I keep saying. I keep reminding me very much of an Essien type player, and why he's not getting more game time is beneath me. But he has to start this game tonight, and to play alongside him. If Kovacic can play this game, and people are talking about his calf injury, I get that as well. But if he's fully enough, if he's fully fit, he can start. At least starting for this game tonight. Because I think those two in that midfield, I think will do really, really well. Or it's going to be one of. It's going to be what, like we said already. It's going to be one of two. I'd either put Conor Gallagher or I'll put Mason Mount in there. But I have to say, Loftus-Cheek. Nah, the guy for me against Arsenal on Sunday. Completely anonymous in that game. I was at that game, as I said, useless, absolutely useless.
It was useless.
And if he starts this game tonight, then you have to say to yourself that I don't blame Kovacic for wanting to leave the football club. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Again, please like the video on YouTube and like the video if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Quickly, so DJ, it is you for you. It is Zakaria and Kovacic, right? Let me see what those in the chat. I think 75% thinks it's going to be Kovacic. I really don't want to see again Loftus-Cheek essentially again ever. I know his cousin Roger probably right now have agreed he shouldn't be playing centrally, but he thinks at first he thought it was a good idea. I said no, I like him as a player, but not centrally really. I heard again we signed Nkunku already. Where is that coming from?
A lot of news broke about this today. Sorry, go on, Dan.
I've sent a link to you. I've sent the link to you, Coach, about Nkunku.
Dan, let it not be that one you sent me. You say you sent me a link, and I will never see the link until 2029.
No.
It has happened before.
Trust me, I've got a link for you. I'll send it to you, Coach.
Yeah, because it has happened
true.
before. Okay, I'm waiting. I heard we're signing Concord Siobhan Igwan over there. I don't know really. Loftus-Cheek is -1. He plays rubbish all the time. Again, people are really people are really pissed.
That's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh.
That's harsh, really. But
That's
again,
slightly harsh.
but people are entitled to their opinion. You can say it's a Chelsea fan thing. You should see, for instance, when Gallagher missed a penalty, it was Gallagher out, sell him. He's not Chelsea level because he tried a Panenka.
Yeah. But that's how the penalty, when you miss it, it looks horrible.
Yeah. Then and then again, for instance, another example would be what's his name? Chalobah, when he made, I think, in 2 consecutive games or so. I don't know if the errors were chained. 2 again big errors that led to us conceding a penalty or so. They will start saying he's not Chelsea player. What is again? But again, you have every right, Prince of PP, to say that. But to me, I think Loftus-Cheek is a victim of his versatility. Had he been played constantly in a single position, at least even centrally, by now he'd be well acquainted with executing the role. But he's an 8 traditionally, you know. But that's, by the way, if Havertz starts it tonight, then I've got to call it what it is, sabotage.
Oh, that's a bit again. That's a bit harsh.
Oh my goodness! Be nice sometimes, brother. You know I love you.
Listen, no, he's entitled. I get you're saying Kachili, he's entitled. People are entitled to their opinions, but this whole getting on the Kai Havertz train is getting a bit old now because it seems like everyone's depending on one player to get as goals. People got to realize Kai Havertz was not bought to score goals. He's never been a goal scorer. I think people got to understand that. He's not a goal scorer. What he was brought in to do is play a false 9. If anyone's watched his game for his previous club would know for Leverkusen, the guy used to play from deep and score goals from midfield or play behind the striker, but he was never that striker, you know, and Germany as well. But people want to get on Kai Havertz back.
DJ, absolutely, you're right there, mate.
And people are getting on Kai Havertz back. I mean, there's so many. Listen, I'm not happy with Kai Havertz at this moment in time. Let me put this straight there. I might be taking up for Kai Havertz, but I'm not happy with this game at the moment either. At the same time, I'm not blaming him. And there's also Mason Mount that seems to get picked upon as well. Of why we're not doing this. It's the whole team at the moment. It's reflecting on the whole team. But it's the main. But it's those 2 players that always come into question of Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. What about the rest of the team?
And DJ, if I'm being honest.
None of them are playing well at the moment.
I've never seen you get so pissed that you started saying the player is rubbish, really.
No, listen, look, Kai Havertz is playing. Look, Kai Havertz, I'm not. And look,
I get your point. I'm just saying it's not your thing to get to the level of saying, I've seen, like, for instance, I've seen Bobby. Even Bobby would say, "Don't sell any player." Then I've seen Bobby say, "Jorginho is nonsense, a fraud of a player."
Typical Bobby, big up Bobby.
Yeah, again, if he gets pissed, Bobby can be so raw if he gets pissed. But that's by the way. I'm saying in your case, I'll never see you come to the measure of.
He's a classic, Bobby.
I've never seen you come to the measure of hating a player. You get my point. But one thing is sure, I understand people can have every right to see players from we see things from different lenses, and as such feel like some players are the best, some are nonsense. For instance, just 1 second, so just quickly, if you don't mind, please. In the eyes of Johnny Mineral FC, Mason Mount doesn't crap. He doesn't even have a toilet. Let alone crap.
You see,
then in the eyes of Matt Zivoy, Mason Mount carries toilet with him around and craps everywhere. That's Matt, individual.
Big up to both of them.
That's it. Again, so it is a fan base, and it's natural for those things to happen. But again, like DJ, always positive, and I like it, and always trying to give you solid reasons to trust the process and trust a player. Roger, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I want to say, listen, I think collectively, especially the last game, I'm not talking about the end product. I'm talking about that's played between box to box. Collectively, I think the whole team, for all intents and purposes, have been very poor. Technically, with their first touch, and also their ability to not or to be open. They just haven't been on form. Whether it's the structure, whether it's their instructions, I don't know. I think,
and the midfield looked confused against Arsenal, really.
I think
Yeah, it
well,
did.
even defensively, you
Yeah.
even have to look at defensively from a corner that is not even touched. It went through 3 Chelsea players just collectively. You know, there's very few people that stood out to be average, let alone exceptional.
Yeah.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I rate. Don't forget, he's a product of his versatility. You're right, but you know, yes, I believe he's better suited as a number 8 wide up front. But I think to the way that he's been critiqued, I think it's a bit unfair because I think the people surrounding him, which is the defense that Coachella used for J5, I'm going to use that. You know, justify it. The people around him.
I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek's good enough for Chelsea Football Club, though, because if you notice,
I beg to differ.
That's your right. Again, Roger, drop. Roger, go, let him drop down. Let him drop quickly, and we have to be quick because we have to finish the lineup. I have to take my boy to school too. But go ahead, Roger.
I get it, but I don't believe he's been given the opportunity to play consistently in one position. He's played in so many positions that aren't, you know, shall we say, native to his position that he's been brought up playing. So he's actually played even like a centre back. He's played in right back. He's played in a sitting number 6. He is not playing his net. So he might as well put Mendy as a freaking number 9. You know, you have to defend him in some regards. When he does play right up front, he's got power. He's successful in the air, which is more than you can say for Sterling. You know, he goes up, he wins, he's technical on the ball. You know, he's crossing, his shooting is good. He's a good player. You just have to give him time. And don't forget, he's only recently recovered from a serious injury.
I get that. I get that. I get that.
Though, Roger.
Okay, go ahead, Dan. Pour your hat out. We don't have too much time. Dan, take a minute. You wanted to say something, Dan?
Yeah. Basically, what it is, Roger. Right,
sure.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he had a bad injury like three seasons ago. Right, it's been 3 seasons.
It's not 3.
And it is 3, mate. It's 3.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
I put the stats up last night about his injury.
No, just go ahead. Don't worry about the stat. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, but I think for a minute, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, no matter if he plays the right wing back or the
Dan, can I say this quickly?
Go on.
You're really into butchering the player's name, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Just go ahead.
Hey, I call him. I know. You know what, hey, coach? You know what I originally called him? Ruben Loftus.
Yeah, but just go ahead.
That's what he is. That's what he is. Mm-hmm. Because
poor chap.
The guy's been everywhere on the pitch, and he still had bad experience. But even though all the other players on the pitch have a bad performance, right? Everyone blames Mason and Havertz. It's never Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's never Jorginho. It's never Jorginho. It's never Koulibaly. It's never Thiago Silva when he makes mistakes or Chalobah. It's every single player, who makes mistakes. Is always to blame. Havertz, Mason Mount. That's it. Mason, Havertz, not Jorginho.
They're very divisive, aren't they?
It's
a
joke. It's a joke.
I think
don't get blamed for it at all.
Because people keep going on. You know what it is, Roger? People keep going on. People keep going on about Kai Havertz's price tag here. 75 million flop. I mean, come on, the guy comes into the Premiership. I mean, I think it's his 3rd season. I think a lot of people are hoping. I'm not going to lie. And what the Bluetooth game is, I'm not into debate. I can understand his frustrations with Kai Havertz, and again, everyone's entitled to their opinions. I get frustrated with him as well. I mean, I expected to get a lot more out of. I was hoping we'll get a lot more out of Kai Havertz this season than what he's showed so far. So I can understand the fans' frustration. But all I'm basically saying is, when people do make their opinions on the game on games after the match is finished, it always reflects back to the same 2 players, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. And you look around you. I mean, the reason I don't know, because I really don't know what it is. It's because people go on about, we spent 75 million on Kai Havertz, you should be getting better out of him. I can get that argument as well, but I keep saying it. The guy was never a prolonged. He was never a striker that scores goals.
Mason is free. Mason
Here's
doesn't
the
have
thing.
a
I
price
think we
tag on
should
him.
just DJ. I
Sorry,
get
go
your
on,
point.
bruv.
No,
Go on,
I'm not. I'm not cutting
reflecting
you off,
off.
DJ. If you're not done, go ahead. I just wanted
No,
to
no,
let
no, no,
Dan
no,
know.
no, no. You
It's
go,
Kepa,
bro.
no.
Okay,
Look
I want us to
much
move
Kepa
on from
costs.
I want us to move on from that topic. It's not going to let us. The
It's not.
argument.
Sure.
It's not going to let us finish this lineup building exercise.
No, no. It's
Plus,
But we
DJ,
need,
I know.
Coach, we need to have a discussion one day about this, though.
Okay, we'll do a player
Yeah.
performance discussion. Maybe we'll have a show every day. Again, during the World Cup, we'll have time to even talk about player performances. Maybe even do a
I would
review.
really like that.
We'll also do a review on Graham Potter. Yes, it will make sense. Here's the thing I want to say again quickly, and I'll move on. I wanted to say, I know you and DJ, you guys, your opinions seem to ally. But let me tell you this, DJ. Roger is Ruben Loftus-Cheek's cousin. So if you ever argue against Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you guys are not going to be friends again.
Are
If you don't
Roger?
know.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
can I just say one thing before I go?
It's
Good
my
game,
mother
quickly.
from another mother.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Let me. Listen, I'm not a Havertz or a Mount sexual. Yeah, let's just get one thing straight. I'm only trying to look at it from a fair point of view. Okay, because I keep saying it every time these guys play. I'm objectively saying this to you guys that every time a game is being played and we either lose or we play crap, it reflects on those two players only. No one comes out and says, "Oh, Raheem Sterling had a bad game," or maybe Jorginho had a bad game in midfield. Cover was bad in midfield, or the defense were bad. It's always back on these two players, and that's my only debate.
Yeah.
I'm not a sexual in any of them. Yeah, I love all my players. Let's get one thing straight. I love all my players. But I just think it's unfair just to put the criticism on those two players. That's all I'm basically saying.
Yeah,
as a fan.
Totally agree.
And it's also with Kepa.
totally
With
agree.
Kepa,
That's all I'm saying.
We paid
Nothing more.
We paid Kepa.
All
we
right.
paid Kepa 79
All right,
million.
let's finish
we
the
paid
exercise.
Kepa 79 million, and he's never Kepa or they've got the blame. It's always Mason and it's always Havertz fault. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, that was a bad game. It's all these, but it's always Mason and thing. But if the goalkeepers have a mistake, it's exactly the same coach. It's Mason and Havertz. It's always them.
All right.
We never make mistakes.
All right, let's do this again. Again, I've read that one from the comedy man of the house. Again, we have the right to be pissed. Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out. As long as you don't touch me, you get as pissed as you want. You're not going to touch me. Again, that's it. So yeah, go ahead with it. Enjoy it. It's your right, really. But that's hilarious, given the context. Where did we get it wrong again? From the coach or the players? I thought Graham Potter against tactics is not favorable to us. I'm not really sure again what the issue is. Again, do I think he's the right man for the job? He's the right. I still believe that. Again, I still believe. But the most important thing I can say I believe he's capable of doing is building a unit. But that's besides it. You need to be tactically flexible. You need to be, again, a proactive. I'm seeing things that I don't like, but I'll give it time. Maybe, again, he will learn from his mistakes. Again, I don't think it's perfect. No manager is perfect. Cornwall manager, I will tell you one thing I don't like about the manager, really. But to me, like the Beautiful Game said yesterday, which was in fact a delicious comment, he says a good manager can make a bad team look good. I'm sure he was talking about Thomas Tuchel. Good players can make a bad manager look good. And then a bad manager and bad players are good combo. I get what he's referring to there, but I don't subscribe to that entire theory. Bad manager, bad players. No, I still think we should be doing better than we're doing, no matter how bad our players are. Better than we're doing right now. But that was a delicious comment, really, and it got me thinking. We're no longer how we used to be. Our attackers, again, are no longer fearful. They don't bite, let alone anybody fearing them. They don't bite at all. Again, Diego Costa bites. Did the drama bites? Again, those strikers named them. They were biting. Even did he represent Jamaica?
Who's that?
The era of Baba Yaro.
He was Celestina Babayaro. He was Nigerian.
Yeah, again, the era they had one attacker then, Hasselbank. He bites too.
Dutch international.
Dutch international. Yeah, we don't have such players. Yeah, we don't have such players now. Well, again, and to me, I don't think when we were buying this players, we were paying attention how balanced our squad is. We have players who easily they hit the deck. Really.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Kachilla? Do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you, bro.
Can you remember George?
I remember George.
boys?
George.
I remember George Weah. We signed him from AC Milan, right?
Yeah.
We're going back.
He's a quality player.
You know what we missed though, guys,
Coach,
and I think
back to the task at hand.
But DJ, I'll let DJ drop.
I was just going to say what we're missing in the team at the moment is what we used to have back in the day. Players that used to fight for the badge. I mean, we don't have any leaders on the pitch. You look at John Terry's era. You look at Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Michael Essien, Claude McLady. Ricardo Cavallo, even William Gallas. Add to that, Ashley Cole. These guys used to fight and if the players are not doing that great, they'll be in each other's faces to go and win a game. We don't have that at the moment. This is what's lacking in that team, and this is where I think.
Here's something that was very obvious then that we don't see now. You can see you can see players outside the coach telling them what to do. You can see players in group having conversations on what to do. You can see the togetherness on the pitch. You don't see that now.
Not now.
You don't see that now. Again, but that's right. Well, let me catch up. We'll have to get done again before my boy knocks on the door.
Sorry,
yes, the whole team is playing bad, so it's not fair of picking on again an individual players as much as I would like to. Sometimes that's just the truth. And sorry, my apologies again. The show started an hour late because I woke up and didn't have the energy. I had to say, okay, let me just sleep for one more hour. Yeah, again, I get that. Again, let me see anything else to address here. A strike two, Dan warning to you from the beautiful game. The fan base are just trying to balance out all the Harvard and Mount sexual. That's all. That's the truth. Again, we want a Pulisic to start tonight. Kelvin Achule, that sounds like a Nigerian name. Again, welcome to the channel. Be sure to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I wish we could go on because it's a delicious debate again, as usual. But unfortunately, again, we started 1 hour late. I think he deserves to start again, but Potter does his thing really. Mason Mount shouldn't play 90 minutes
at the moment. Agreed.
At the moment, with that, that's a good way to phrase it. But let's not rephrase OPP's comments for him. It is his opinion. Again, mess up with our opportunities on the pitch. But DJ is right. If we're to correct you, at the moment, let's see again. But Mount has his own a banner.
So did John Terry. So did John Terry. John Terry as well has got his own banner in the stand still.
Beautiful game. Hey, guys, beautiful game to get strike four. No, the common chat, silence.
Starling not to start. Good luck. Well, big up Blues again. Lateness is greatness. Yes, you're the greatest. Since you're the most late. Nice to see you, Glenn. My bro, I love you so much. I understand. Bills don't pay themselves. We'll all work. And again, this is no obligation. Zakaria is okay for us. He is. I must agree. Again, they say fixed midfield and our attack will be sorted out. But how will it help our attackers stop missing open goals? I think the argument fix the midfield and attack will be fine sounds like we've not been creating chances, but really we've been creating chances. And if you look at Thomas Tuchel numbers, you'd cry. You'd feel bad for him knowing it wasn't really his fault that we weren't scoring goals. We don't need a love-stick tonight, you think? The job they gave to Graham Potter is too big for him. If that's how you see it, that's your opinion. Todd Bowley got it wrong in giving him that bogus post. We'll see whether that's the case. Oh, you did not just compare Mount to Terry.
Can I just answer that one quickly? Listen, the beautiful game. Listen, I'll answer your question that one. No, listen, I'm making no comparisons, bro. You're 100%. Terry's earned that to be there. No comparisons whatsoever. You're just saying he had his own banner. All I'm basically saying is, you say Mason Mount has got his own banner out there. So does John Terry. John Terry's done more for the football club, captain, leader, legend. I get all that. But, I'm not calling on that at all. It's not that. I was just trying to get at your comments because obviously you made a point on making it out to me. So I was just waiting for a reaction and I got the reaction I wanted.
Really, DJ.
It's coming.
Let's move on. He was pulling your leg. Again, if you're watching just quickly, I have a new series. The series is where, again, I show the trophies. Again, Chelsea players has won. I've done one. I've done one for Didier Drogba. I've done Lampard. I've done Eden Hazard. I've done one more player who again.
Ashley Cole. We don't talk about Graham Lasso and Ashley Cole.
So I've done a few of them, and each of them, none of them is up to a minute, so it won't take long. If you have time, please go check it. Be sure to drop a like on those videos, please. It will help me reach more people. No RLC, please. Says William Sakala. Again, the Bluetooth game, it's all love. We know. I'm sure DJ knows. DJ knows it's all love.
I love his comments. I said it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
If I see Love Sushi on our lineup today, I will off my television this night and I won't watch today's match. I think it depends on where he starts. If he starts here, he'll do well. But good luck. I don't see Potter starting him there. So DJ, let's fill in this 3 space now. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll see if the panel and the chat agree.
Oh God. Okay, for me, number 9. On the night, I'll start Broja tonight. Broja for me. And
well, you start again. Okay, you want to start number 9? Let's say that works for me too. I don't think Aubameyang should actually. No, again, if anything, he should be on the bench. So the 10 position, who you want? To me, I'd want Gallagher to start this game really, and I
think I was going to say the same thing. Gallagher at number 10, and I probably would say and. Yeah, I think for this game, I think because as I
would
said,
put Kai there.
You could put Kai there.
We'll ask those in the chat. We'll ask those in the chat. DJ, plug in who here for you?
You could put Kai there, but then I'm thinking either way, Gallagher that side. I'll put Kai Havertz as that is where.
Here's the thing: if Kai is going to be on the pitch, you'll get the best out of him if he plays at the number 10 position.
Either way, they can either do because he's played on either. He's played in either role, any. So it doesn't matter whichever one you want to put.
So Havertz here, Gallagher.
Gallagher, and the left side. So I'll put. I want to say Hutchinson. But he won't. I'm gonna. I'll say Hutchinson. Hutchinson or Pulisic for me there.
But I think Pulisic probably.
Yeah,
Pulisic most likely.
I'll go Pulisic, and I think Hutchinson will play, and I'll put. I wouldn't have even Conor Gallagher on the starting bench. I'm afraid because he's just another Rubus off the street.
Here's one thing I want to let you know, Dan. I don't see a game. I don't see a game where Gallagher will not be on the pitch and Mount will not be on the pitch.
Sure.
What they provide, the energy, the running they do in this area, the pressing that starts from the front,
is required.
They do a lot of that.
Yes. Have a look at Arsenal versus us. Don't look at the ball. Look at when we have the ball. Look at what the Arsenal forwards do, how they press. You know, it's simple as that. In my day, it was called closing down, but now they call it pressing.
But I don't think we've worked on that. I think the way we start our pressing up front, our attackers will get tired easily. We don't press strategically. It's always one person covering, running to the goalkeeper, and then seeing the goalkeeper wants to pass it to the guy on the left, and then he starts running. But Arsenal, they were coming like this.
Yeah, collectively.
But in our case, it's usually one person running like this and begging the other players, please cover up there. So it's in our case, our pressing isn't strategic. So yeah, exactly. So usually our players tire out. Those in the front three tire before.
So you would see that with Liverpool in Klopp in the early days, where they weren't doing it collectively. But then as time progressed, you could see they knew when to do it. And that's usually down to one person. Like in the NFL, they have a MLB, a middle linebacker. That's the captain of the defense. It's the same for this scenario. You would have, let's say, a number 10 that would say when to press. So it's a matter of working it out on the training ground.
Here's what I think will happen here. I think this guy plays centrally. He can play there. He's played there on the ground, Potter, and he did well. And I think this guy will be Hutchinson.
See, I think Hutchinson, Pulisic, and Havertz. I think Hutchinson.
Let's do this. We can bring Christian Pulisic there.
Hutchinson can play on the right. Rods.
He can play where?
He can play left side and right side.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter really. It's on the flanks really. So if you're on the chat,
I'll have Havertz.
Yeah. So DJ, you have anything to say?
On what? Sorry, bro. I was just thinking a reply
the
back.
The lineup overall, because
that's fine. You just forgot to add one player.
If Messi isn't on the pitch, Gallagher must be on the pitch. That's what I'm thinking. Given the amount of running they do and the pressing,
Yeah.
And if we're gonna accommodate Hutchinson, which means Havertz will not be playing
Yeah.
for Gallagher to start centrally, really.
No.
But that's a chance.
Yeah.
Havertz is actually the one to start in the number 9
I think-
position and not Broja.
I
But
think
go
the
ahead,
only thing
DJ.
I think I look at Kai Havertz's situation, and I think we need height in that team, and he's got height.
Definitely.
You've got Koulibaly and Chalobah who are the only two players, if you like, in that pitch, and maybe Zakaria are probably and maybe I put cover in that as well. Probably the only ones that have probably got the height in the team. But for set pieces, especially corner kicks, I think Kai Havertz is very useful in the air. You've seen him header balls on for others to go and score goals. So I think in that kind of like way, you probably would put Kai Havertz in that position rather than Gallagher. But if you're just playing, but if you're obviously just playing ball to feet, then obviously Gallagher is your man because he's not going to be crossing those kind of those balls in the box for a Broja to head or whatever. It'll just be ball to feet. So again, you got to look at it that kind of like way, Kachila, in that kind of like way. If you're going to play with like that, then Gallagher is the ideal person because obviously he's got the passing moves and all that kind of stuff. But if you're looking to put balls into the box, and you got that man, if Broja can't get it, and you got someone to come running in from the back, that come running in from behind Broja, then that's going to be Kai Havertz for me, isn't it? Because he's got the height to score the goals. So that's how I'm looking at it from that kind of like way. But that team in itself, if you're going to go this way, then say Gallagher ahead of Kai Havertz in that kind of that way.
Yeah, and here again it says let's see again. City fans on Twitter seems to think Sterling is going to do a madness if he starts. Probably try to get the manager to start him, and I think that's the logic. There's a chance he starts really.
It's at Manchester. It's at Manchester City's ground, isn't it? So he's more than likely if he wants to play him. What a way of endearing yourself to the Chelsea fans if you like playing against your team against your former club and scoring a goal against them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that worthy of a spot?
We have our own lineup, so whatever happens there happens really.
What are you going to have our left back then, coach? Because you left the
you've not put that out. I was asking about that.
We haven't. Yeah, again, it has to be Cucurella really.
I think the poll. I think those in the chat picked Lewis Hall. Really,
they did pick Lewis Hall.
Yeah, Lewis Hall.
I thought.
I don't think Cucurella. I don't think Cucurella will be playing this Man City.
I will plug in Lewis Hall there, given that the chat picked Lewis Hall, but I can assure you that's not going to happen. But that's what I think when it comes out. With you, just remember I told you that. Let me see. I'm trying to find the poll to get the accurate outcome. Who passes Zakaria? So I'm missing it somewhere.
Sorry, the answer to David Smith's question: if you're obviously living in the UK, you can watch the game on Sky. It's actually live on Sky Sports 1 tonight. That game.
And in the US, I think it will be on the ESPN Plus app.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's just to David Smith because you were just asking the question.
Or you can watch on Amazon Prime.
Is it on Amazon Prime?
It's through Amazon Prime to Paramount Plus. I don't think it's free.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no. You got to pay. You got to pay for it. Yeah, you got to pay for it.
Also, there's other vendors like IPTV. There's many various vendors.
Yeah, there are other vendors where you get them from and watch them. Yeah.
Okay.
Just 1 second, quickly. Yeah, go ahead, DJ.
I was just saying it is on Sky Sports 1 though. Anyone that doesn't know, it's on Sky.
Yeah.
If you got Sky Sports 1.
I have both American and British accounts because I've got my daughter in the States.
Choices, bruv. Choices, huh?
Yeah. That's important. Again, if you're into games, again, usually one account doesn't do because sometimes they intentionally, I don't know, split it. One channel doesn't get everything, and sometimes for you to get it in another channel, you have to pay. It's business anyway.
Yeah, it's like it's like an Apple account. My American Apple account doesn't work in the United Kingdom, so I have to create a British Apple account. So
the most you can do is use a VPN.
Yeah, well, that too, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, no, there are certain apps like you can't download. It will recognize that my Apple account is assigned to an American bank account. So it only
Yep.
I can't download the BBC app unless I've got a British bank account.
Sorry, bro. I'm not laughing at you, Roger.
It's
I'm laughing at the
ridiculous.
beautiful games comments. The last comment.
Yeah, it was never. If he didn't say anything, then it wasn't.
is it?
It was
Let me
never
see
going to
Sorry,
be
bro.
him.
Read his comment. The last comment.
Let me see it.
246
What was it?
from behind the sofa.
What,
Because he thinks we're going to get sucked into that
What's
used to be
behind
the-
the sofa?
that used-
Best
that used
seat in
to-
the house.
that used to
So
remind me of
true.
the days when, you know what that used to remind me of, Roger? You probably would know this as well, bro. If those who used to watch Doctor Who, they used to say, "What's
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Who from behind the
Yeah.
behind the sofa?"
Yeah, the Daleks.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
garlic.
and the Cybermen.
Yeah, the
I'm not sure
Cybermen.
what I'm going to do to the Bluetooth game. I just intentionally someday just temporarily block him
So
from the
quality.
channel so that I can
Oh,
concentrate.
no, cool. Sorry, bruv. Sorry.
He's on good form. He's on good form.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
excellent
the
form.
beautiful game is on form now. Is it happening again? Let's read this again. Round off with this Reece James's comment. Again, this one here says again, his head again, his head hopping out once in a while. Okay, I get it. Here's the thing. Devastated. The minute I injured my knee, I knew the turnaround to make the World Cup
James.
would be tight. But I always felt it was possible. I worked harder than I ever thought I could to give myself the best chance of going in. Truly believed I could help the team. I appreciate, again, there was risk on both sides, but it was one I was willing to take. Again, he recognizes, just as before we saw this comment, we talked about the risk. Is it a risk? It would be a risk for England. It would be a risk for Chelsea too, if he aggravates the injury. If a setback happens. I appreciate, again, there was a risk on both sides, but it was one I was willing to take. Again, good luck to the boys. I will be back soon. Stay safe and sending love. It's hard, as much as it's
I feel
heartbreaking.
sorry for him. I really do.
Yeah,
I
and
do.
so sorry to
I
hear
really
that.
do.
And once I saw the comment, doctors told him that he may well make it to the World Cup. I didn't like that idea, but good to hear that he's not going. Really, let him take his time to recover fully.
He is running again, though. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures. He is running again. They were showing pictures of him.
Let him take it slowly.
Running. Yeah, slowly. Yeah.
This time.
Rehab.
It's like with Ben Chilwell. It's like with Ben Chilwell and all. DJ. He when that game came out at Sagbag, limping off the pitch that he couldn't walk. He was actually training this weekend with a massive bandage around his thigh.
Oh, mate.
So he might be missing out the World Cup. But I feel sorry for him. But any day that there's more to come in the World Cup, and also they're just got
2026, 2026, mate. That's the next World Cup, isn't it? So he'll be ready for that.
It is, mate. Yeah.
So again, on a final note, Roger, starting with you again, given these insights, again, one, City haven't lost in 5 games, and we haven't kept a clean sheet again in 5 matches. And again, like we established during the start of the show, City is they have the most potent attack. They scored the most goals, 27 to Arsenal's 22 or so, 5 more. I don't know the number, and I hate pulling numbers out of my wazoo. To me, on paper, statistically, this shows most likely we're going to lose this one. But your thoughts, again, what do you think Potter should do differently so we don't lose it?
I'm hoping Haaland doesn't get on the bus to the stadium. As simple as that. I hope he doesn't play, because he will have us for lunch. He really will. He's an amazing beast of a player. He's so clinical. He reads the game so well. He plays off the cornerback's shoulder so well. He plays well beyond his years. He looks like a 30-year-old, mentally speaking, cerebrally, the way he approaches the game. He is so mature for a young man. He's going to break, if he stays healthy, so many records. I just hope he doesn't play tonight. We need to get some penalties and win that way. I can't see us winning any other way. West Ham did it for them last year.
And do you think there's any chance we get to 90 minutes without conceding?
No.
All right. Again, we're being factual here. That this doesn't mean we're lesser Chelsea fans than anyone else. We're just being factual. We're just being realistic. And Dan, your thoughts on those two insights were looked at. They haven't they haven't considered. What was that again? Let's look at it. They haven't lost in 5 matches. We haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches. And to me, again, look at their form here. Again, they've only drawn 1-0. That was against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, they've beaten Brighton at 3-1, Leicester City 1-0, Manchester City again Sevilla. Oh, that's Champions League 2. This is Champions League, but at least they haven't lost a single game. It's just 1 draw. We've lost twice in 1 draw. But this, what I'm looking at more importantly, these insights here. They haven't lost in 5 matches. And they have, again, we haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 games. So Dan, your thoughts? What type of game do you expect? And just again, keep it simple because we don't have too much time really.
Man City Fulham game was a bit unfortunate. They only got the late winning because Man City were down to 10 men that game, and they got the last lucky penalty that should have been a penalty in something in the 92th minute. And Haaland scores the penalty. I think it was a harsh penalty. They shouldn't really won that game.
The rule says the slightest of touches.
Yeah, but it was.
And the impeded player, it was in motion. So the slightest of touches can cause even, an airplane to crash. Even a bird can cause an airplane to crash. Let that sink and let that give you why it was a penalty. It was one. But go ahead with what you're saying. I'll take a minute so I can go to DJ.
See, Coach, I think that penny should have been a penny at all, mate. It was not clear, no way a penny. But with our performance lately, right, we've lost 2 games on the bounce. We lost against Brighton and we lost against Arsenal. It's not like we've actually done bad on the pitch and that, but we seem to be all right on the pitch, but we ain't creative enough. We haven't got no ballers to create to strikers to get into the box to score the goals. So this game, I'll be happy.
Sorry, if you're speaking and I burst into laughter, it's not because of you, just because of what I've seen in the chat.
I've seen it too as well. That's what you mean.
So have I. I've seen it.
Yeah. The blue.
Oh my goodness! Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, this chat, I love these guys. Do you know what? You're making
like
us
Godzilla was to Tokyo, mate.
It's like we ain't the comedian.
Oh my gosh!
I tell you what, I think these guys should take over your channel, Coach, because
with their comments.
These are the comedy jokers in here, and we're just.
I'm going to intentionally ban. Anytime I want to concentrate, I'm just going to block the Bluetooth again for the whole thing.
And Glenn's amongst it now as well. You know, Mr. Lateness' greatness is coming with his comments already on there, mate. Big up team, big up. I love the comments, man.
Let's get your thoughts on what you expect.
Go on, Dan. Sorry, Dan. Let us
Okay, go ahead, Dan. Finish, please. I would my boy should be ready by now. But go ahead. We're gonna finish.
But I'm just going to quickly say something. I am doing a watch along tonight. The Man City Chelsea game. If you people want to come in, but I just hope we lose it. I just hope we lose this game because I want more confidence. Us to cover the FA Cup and the Champions League. That's what we should do. Okay. Because this new game.
Hello. He's breaking up.
Yeah. The Newcastle, and it's the more bigger game that we should get to try and get 3 points. But I don't think this game is. I don't think we should worry about this game. Let's move on for the Newcastle. Let's after the Christmas. Let's figure out the concentrate on the Champions League, and when the FA comes, then concentrate on that and try and get top 4 this year. But this game, I ain't really bothered, but I am doing a watch along tonight if you guys want to come along and support my show. if you want to come on later and all coach. Do
Excellent. The only thing is that I'm doing watch along too, but again, I will be.
I'll come jump in your stead. I'll come jump in your stead, coach.
And no worry, bro. Again, if you there's space for all of us, but again, I really want to come to your channel because you've been a good friend and a brother. You always come whenever I want you. Time allows. Again, we're gonna. You can go share. Go quickly, Dan. Go share the link to your channel in the chat so people can go check it out. Again, I want to hear from DJ. I'm reserving what we have in the chat for last.
DJ, peace out. I'm gonna have to head down.
Peace out to you, bro. Peace out, Dan. Nice to meet you again, man. As always.
But thank you. Yeah, big up to you guys. But thank you for letting me join the show. Up to Chelsea. And thank you for letting me join, coach, and all the best to you guys, man. Right,
just always ask whenever you have time. Okay, DJ, your thoughts. What type of game do you expect? Do you think it will go to penalties? Or do you think it will be a miracle? Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to actually turn this into a positive, to be honest with you. I know people are talking about Manchester City. I get all this, but like I said to you before in my comment, like when I first started talking to you on here, I did say, it's a non-pressure game for Graham Potter tonight. And I think having that going into this game, bear in mind you're not fighting for 3 points, but you're fighting for a trophy. People turn around and say, "Oh, the League Cup is a nothing trophy." But for me, Chelsea winning a trophy, for me is more important. Is important. We win a trophy at least, and I think you'll go into this game knowing we still got. Yes, we got the Prem to still do, FA Cup, Champions League, but I still think this is a game we can give. We can give Manchester City problems, but the one thing I've learned with this Manchester City this season is their determination, and that is they can even go 3-0 down and still come and beat you. Yeah. So either way we look at this game, if we're able to go,
did you observe that they become more direct? I think it was Roger.
Yes,
that made
they do.
That
no, it was Roger. It was Roger who said that to you. They have become that way, and and this is what we've got to watch out for. Even if we take a 2-0 lead against them. We've got to defend probably like mad for the remaining of the game. Defend, and there's only so much you can to keep this Manchester City team out. And if we can get those goals, I'm hopefully confident that we can stay and we can do what no other team has done and just beat them. Because Pep's always said against Chelsea is always a tough game, regardless who the manager is, who the opposition is. He always finds playing us is always a tough game, and we have always proved that.
Is there, the rivalry is there.
Yeah. That's correct, and and let's be honest. I know a lot of Manchester City fans out there still not grateful that we beat them in the Champions League, so they still look revenge every time we play them anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So let's knowing all these factors and knowing all the negatives that are coming into this game, what's expected. The good thing for Chelsea is we're the underdogs in this game, and if we can go with that kind of attitude, but show them, we can still play. I don't see why we can't get a result tonight. So I'm going to be a little bit more positive to everybody in the comments. People are saying you've got to be a realist as well. Realists we probably will lose, but I'm always a positive Chelsea fan. I've been through it. Been a Chelsea fan for years and years and years. So I've seen it happen all before. So if we can do that, I'll be happy with a win. So I'm still confident into this game that we can still do it.
And again, I will catch up on what we have in the chat. Just quickly, has Gareth Southgate, has he released his World Cup squad?
Tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow.
Okay, I'll ask a question before we leave. Again, here we have gutted for Reece James, but I am glad he's not going. England again isn't winning anything. No, it's not coming home. It's simple. It's not coming home really. Home is somewhere else at this point for the World Cup trophy. Again, the game is not on TV in India too. Again, ESPN Plus most likely. Again, please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, I have the channel reach a wide audience.
Spot on, everyone. I'm saying spot on to those comments.
Yeah. So please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And again, I'm going to say this before I forgot. The DJ hopefully launches his channel soon, and I owe him a lot. And I will go through fire to be on his panel whenever 100%. It launches. Again, the plan is on the way. Just a lot of stuff to take care of before it launches. But much love to a guy like him that goes around supporting all Chelsea content creators. Again, much respect and much love, and I cannot appreciate you enough.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Same thing to Roger and everyone else who was on the panel too. Again, we are gonna lose the game, but up to Chelsea. That's the spirit of one. Again, if we win, we'll take it. But the expectation and the statistics and what we see the inside says we're gonna lose it. So, but if we win, we'll take it anyway. Again, because again, you can say 90% of solving a problem is recognizing you have a problem. Really,
The
hopefully,
comments. The funny comments begin.
I was holding. I've read it before.
Sorry,
I
bro.
see it.
I couldn't help
I
reading
like
it.
them. Hopefully, Haaland is to Sterling what Goliath is to David. I hope it
Wow.
happens.
Exactly.
But just wait. Yes, I keep the blue flag flying. Just wait. OMG, the beautiful game. Yeah. And then Glenn says,
That's the funniest out of the two.
oh my
I
gosh.
think
This
it's
is
going to be more like
seriously
what Godzilla was,
unbelievable.
Tokyo, mate. Ha ha ha
Oh,
ha.
I don't know
That's
how to tell
brilliant.
you guys how much I
Brilliant.
love having you guys in the chat. This is so delicious. It's entertainment as much as we have to keep it objective. The laughter does go a long way. And this is just hilarious.
The old
I
legend
think it's-
Monsterverse comments of
Yeah.
Godzilla.
It's brilliant. That's
I think it's
timeless.
going to be more Godzilla, what Godzilla was to the Tokyo mate.
Oh
And
my god.
if you've seen that movie,
Oh
you know,
mate. I'll be honest with you. I'm a
trouble,
massive
really.
Godzilla. I'm a massive Godzilla fan, by the way. So I watch all the movies, even from the old ones from back in the days. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you.
Black and white.
Yeah,
It's an very old movie, but interesting movie, really. The smashing the Godzilla does to the skyscrapers and the electric cables and electric wires and everything. Oh my goodness, just quickly, but yeah, I love it. And much love to you guys, man. Yeah, even Beautiful Game enjoyed that one from Glenn too.
It's excellent.
Again, yeah, that's crazy, really. I'm gonna need the bigger spanner if I block you, right? Okay. Remember, I'm the one to give you the spanner. Again, Michael. I think this is the first time I've seen this Michael here, but welcome to the channel, bro. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Lateness is greatness. I know you joined late, but hopefully, again, you're still enjoying it. And we'll tell more people about the channel. Coach and the legendary panel. Again, our DJ Saab. To these guys, again, hope you guys in the chat have, again, a wonderful day. So to you, brother. Just a quick question, Roger. Do you think Conor Gallagher will be taken to the World Cup?
You know, it all depends. I think I may take him actually in the collaboration, the video we did. You know, I didn't have him in the starting lineup, but I think I prefer.
No, for sure. I don't think he'd be in the starting lineup in the first place.
But you never know with injuries. I prefer him to Ward Prowse, for instance, because we're going to need people to close down. You know, and he brings application energy. That's the one thing I like about him, and he can score when called upon. You know, look what he did for Southampton last year. You know, so
that's Southampton. If we're being honest,
yeah, no, but he scored against Premier League teams.
Let's be logical here. How many players per team?
26, 23 outfield.
And in the attacking area, I think England, they're abundantly blessed in that area, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They have got some good plays.
You got Foden. You've got what's his name? The Arsenal.
Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, you've got You've got what's his name?
You could place Rashford in that category too.
Yeah,
Grealish. Yeah.
Grealish.
Yeah, Grealish. You've got Sterling. Sterling's going to make the team. I'm telling you, he's going to pick him.
Yeah.
He'll probably start him, and then you know, I love Foden personally. Out of all of them, I think he's so technical. He reminds me of a Spanish player. Basically, he fits that mold. Yeah, but he probably won't make. He's made the squad before.
Given that he's the least experienced of all those players we've mentioned.
Sure, yeah, and established. I think the next World Cup, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did pick him if there's injuries. But
like you could say established is a Graham Potter's thing.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, indeed.
And the Leicester midfielder as well. And the Leicester midfielder, what is his name? The one for Leicester.
I know who you're talking about. I know who
he's another one to give competition.
I don't think he goes. I don't think he makes
the
squad. No, I think you're going to have. I think you're going to have Jude Bellingham. You're going to have Rice. You're going to have who was the person from Leeds that went to City.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
injured,
I know
but
you're
he's-
talking about Jack. Would he be able to make it? Is he still injured? Isn't he? I know the one you're talking about.
So DJ, to you directly, so we can call it a day. You think it doesn't go? Why? Because of everything we've talked about.
No, listen. I want him to go, but I think you know they have this thing. I don't know if they still. I don't know if they do it in this. I don't know if it's part of the World Cup. But you have like players on standby. If any of the first 11 get or the
yes,
first,
you do.
whatever
You're going to have a 5-man
injured.
standby. You
So
do.
Yeah,
probably will be on that list. You
I
think
think he'll
he'll be on that list?
standby. He could possibly be on the standby list. Yes.
Okay. All right, DJ, go ahead with what you wanted to say before, so we can call it.
No,
a day.
no. I was just forgetting the players' name. The two players that Roger was talking
Calvin
about. I was
Phillips.
trying to get their names.
Calvin
Phillips.
Phillips.
That's it, Buff. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one.
All right.
Yeah, and also,
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
In midfield.
Okay. All right, again, thank you very much, guys. I cannot thank you enough. It's been a brilliant show. It's been entertaining. It's been factual, objective. I love it so much, and inclusive too, because we got everything in the chart, nearly everything in the chart. Pulisic again to do what he did to City on the Lampard. I hope he does that. Chelsea down a court joined. Yep. See you guys tomorrow again. Later in the day, sorry, against Solaria and who?
Pulisic.
And Pulisic. Okay, featuring Gallagher. Again, that's Mahmoudou. Kasana, nice to see you again. I hope you've liked the video and I hope you've subscribed to the channel too. I hope he reigns tonight. Don't think Haaland is water resistant. I hope he does again. Let's see, Zakaria is a good player and Broja is. Both of them are. I hope they get a chance today. Pulisic to do what he did. Yep, I've read that before. And thanks to the stream, lads. Have a wonderful Wednesday and enjoy the game. And you too, I hope to see you guys during the pregame show before the game proper. I cannot thank you guys enough. With that, we've come to the end of the show, and my Blue Army are already banging on the door. I hope to see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Up the Chelsea. Peace, everyone.
Mm-hmm.